Hey, good morning, good time zone, good whatever. Don't forget to stream Boys Will Be Bugs, the Ruze cover. It was not just art, it was also singing. Go check it out. Anyway, I'm tired. Yeah. Obey. What? I'm not moving. Oh no! But why? My music. Oh. Okay, I was like, my music's going. Okay, wow. I was like frozen in place for a minute there. Hello, good morning, everybody. My name's Crimzon Rulez. I'm Elysium's greatest monster. I am your least favorite idol and the Midwest fantasy VTuber. I'm also the Lord of all bug. I've decided just today. Thank you for the 20 gifted chips, by the way, Ainsley and Clarity. Thank you for the soup. Can we start by ranking the beetles? They're around 400k species. Is that all? I was pretty sure there was over a couple million, but yeah, we can start if you want. I think there's a couple things we got to do before we start ranking any bugs, though. Obviously, we got to establish the basis by which we rank anything within the universe. So I think we really want to get down to like the nitty gritty before we start ranking the couple billion different types of bugs on the planet. I do think that it is important that we understand what our unit of measurement is based on. But before we do that, I think we should probably talk about the concept of ranking and how that kind of functions within like a non-linear perspective and sort of like not a up, down, forward, backwards sort of way, but in the sort of way where to measure something, you need to measure it within the 4D space in which all things exist, how it, nebulously connects like to everything else around it in a big sort of like cloud, not like, like a linear perspective. So let's start with how atoms attach to each other, and I think a good place to start with that is probably going to be to discuss positive and negative attraction amongst molecules. So you guys got your notebooks? When are we getting into parasitoid wasps? Soon, don't worry. Also, thanks to the soup. We'll be including aquatic arthropods, e.g. lobsters. Wilhelm Screamer, I don't know yet. You're going to have to wait for the tier list. Also, thank you for 3 months. Welcome back. Okay. Will it be a test later? Yes. And those of you who fail, you will be fodder for the bugs. We do this every year. It's sort of like a charity drive. So the idea is we get everybody together on the planet, and we sort of Hunger Games style, get you prepped for the bug games where if you lose, you are eaten by bugs, the Mummy style, which has not been good PR for the bugs. I'm not going to lie. It's not great for the Be Nice to Bugs Day, but, everybody's got to eat. It's sort of like a lottery system. If you fail your test, you get put into a lottery, and then you guys get to fight to the death, and whoever loses gets eaten by all the bugs. We got to feed the bugs, it's like a little charity drive. Case Caddy, thank you for 23 months! Not technically a bug, but last night I caught a big black tarantula the size of my hand. It let me take pictures before I released it. Hey, that's scary, actually. Listen, I like bugs. I'm not picking up no damn tarantula, that's for sure. I'd be like, you gotta go outside. You gotta go outside right now. But thanks for 23 months. Falcona, thank you for the soup. So the rankings will be which bug you can beat in a fight then. No, definitely not. Survey says 2 days remain. I whatever could you mean? I was so glad when I looked it up and found out that bugs can't do what they do in the Mummy. Yeah, that's what you think, but you're wrong. Are arachnids included in this tier list? I'm getting a lot of fucking questions right now before we've even started the tier list. Let's back it up a few steps. First of all, let me get in my custom-made, hand-done tier list that I made all by myself and didn't use any popular programs for. You should be so excited. It's so new. It's so fresh. It's so sexy. It's so cool. And now it's going to look very polished, and you're probably going to be thrown off by that at first because you're like, wow, Crimzon Rulez, you did this? This looks like something I've seen before, and my work is not derivative. It's unique and wholly unto itself, like me. So this is what we're working with to start out with. Kristen says, we did the math, 312 days, nonstop tier list, very ambitious stream indeed. That's all? No big deal. That's pretty easy. Light work, no reaction. Reverie says, now will bugs rank us as well? I think the bees can put in a good word for me. No. No, the bugs cannot rank you, because if the bugs ranked you, they would rank you food or not food, probably. I've been slowly converting my friends with my love of bugs to not instantly run away in fear. Now they know to send me a picture so I can ID them. One homie has so many ice pods in her garden. I'm jealous. Ooh, I want a couple ice pods in my garden. I don't have a garden. I don't have a garden. Isn't this just a regular tier list? Nope, this is my own work. Did this all by myself. Hand drawn. As you can see, I did all these like little gears. Now if this was interactive, as if you could like move the tiers around with like a press of a button or something, that would imply that I had programmed my own website, or at least my own like code, for like a minor program for tier lists, which would be hard to believe. So if these could move around, I don't think you guys would believe me that I drew this, but luckily they stay in one place and they never shift anywhere. So, as you can see, I did this by myself. So, what are we here for? Very excited for this as an entomologist. I'm glad it's Numia. Sorry, guy, I always say Numia. It's Numa. But bear in mind, I am not an entomologist. I just like bugs. So, let's start setting up our tiers, shall we? Now we obviously can't go with it. Whatever this is, this isn't good enough. I left this here as a placeholder and I forgot to fix it because I was, I ended up. I'll be real with you guys. I got way too into making the bugs for this tier list, and I ended up pulling an all-nighter like an idiot. So I blinked for like 2 hours, maybe 3 hours, 2.5, something like that. So I didn't finish this tier list all the way. I left some placeholder assets here. So we're just gonna have to go ahead and like label this. So like let's decide what our tiers are gonna be. So I mean, obviously we got to get this top tier. Smooch this bug. Maybe that's its own tier. Maybe it's not like a top tier. It's just a tier. Okay. Will there be beetles on this tier list? Probably. I'm not going to exclude them necessarily. That'd be kind of crazy, huh? That'd be kind of crazy work if you do a bug tier list. You're like, but not beetles though, even though that's like every single bug. Oh, dude, adoptable bug. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. Adoptable bug. Pretty would share a little treat. I don't know why I capitalized share, not treat on that one. I don't know why I capitalized the bug and adoptable bug. I guess because that's a title. Would share a little treat. Pretty decent. No, you can live in the garden. Oh, let's go in the garden. All right, hold up. You gotta go outside, brother. Well, actually, that's kind of like you live in the garden. All right, so this one's gonna be Parish. Parish and Hellfire. That's a good one. I like that one. Also, I gotta change the color of this one. I don't think that's cool enough. I think it's gotta be like aggressive. Let's do like a purple, so they know that's bad. As if purple's like the color of evil or whatever. This one's gonna be Kevin. And then I need one I need one beneath Kevin, obviously. I gotta add a row below. Which is totally fine, totally fine. Okay, let's see. Sorry, hold up. I gotta get, there we go. Okay, this one, it's green, of course. This one's gonna be, What goes beneath Kevin? There's got to be something, right? Like, there's live in the garden, there's perish in hellfire, there's stay off my lawn. Why isn't that centered? I want that to be centered. I don't like that. I don't like that. It's hard to be lesser than Kevin. Sorry, Kevin's out there. No! Okay, I got it. That's good enough for me. I don't care. I don't know why some of these are centered and some of these aren't, but I'm gonna live with it, I guess. It does infuriate me. It's actually burning my eyeballs. I made this myself, by the way. This is my art, so you know. Okay, that's good enough for me. That's gonna have to be good enough for me. Looks like the ranking system has a yeah, I get it. I get it. Listen, this might not be big enough. I might need to increase the size of this just a little bit. You guys want a little bit of a bigger tier list? I want a little bit of a bigger tier list, I've decided. I want this to be like, yeah, let's do like this. I want you guys to be able to see what I made, all right? Listen, I worked on this. I worked hard on this. And now we're gonna get into the fucking meat and motherfucking potatoes, so to speak. We're gonna get into the fucking, we're gonna get into the sunflower seeds and fucking apple crumbs or whatever. All right, we're gonna really dig in. Like, don't eat it all at once. I'm passing each and every single one of you a single grain of like a little bit of wheat bread, like a grain that fell off of wheat bread, you know, like a crumb, if you would. And we're all gonna enjoy that. Don't eat it all at once. If Madagascar hissing cockroaches are not S tier, I'm gonna cry. Cry. You won't. Are we ants? I don't know. Are you? I don't know what you are. I'm not gonna tell you what to be. I can't live your life for you. I ain't your mama. Though they do call me Big Mama. All right. So let's get to work. I think we should probably start, Okay, so let's start with every bug, I think. So I think bugs should go, oh, we gotta grab a representative of bugs. How about ants? Ants are representative of all bugs. Okay, so I think bugs, for me personally, and this is going to be a little controversial to some of you. Some of you aren't going to like what I have to say here. I think all bugs are queens. All bugs are queens. And so personally, I think all bugs belong in adoptable bug. Thank you for coming to my stream, everybody. This has been a great TED Talk. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you so much. Thank you. Take a bow. Take a bow. Yes, I know. It's been a real TED Talk. It's been a banger. It's been a hell of a chat. We did it. I've ranked every single bug in the universe on an objective scale, sort of like a barometric scale, if you would, that cannot be denied or refuted in any way. So I think all bugs are adoptable bugs. It's been a long journey to get here. You know, when I first set out a long time ago at the beginning of this stream to, you know, rank every single bug, people said to me, they said, Crimzon Rulez, you can't do it. There's no way. There's no way you rank every bug on this stream. And I said to them, go fuck yourself. And they said, you can't say that here. This is a TED Talk. This is an academic setting. And I said, oh, okay. No, that's fair. I will rank every bug. And so I did. And now here we are at the end of the tier list. Thank you so much. This has been Crimzon Rulez's bug tier list. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye. Aurora, thank you for the soup. Up north, we have woolly bear caterpillars that are active during the winter. You'll see them crawling around the snow. Nice. That sounds adorable. I want one of those. I'm an inspiration. No, please hold your applause. Hold your applause, guys. I don't deserve this. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy just like you. I am just a guy who ranked every single bug on the planet in one stream, but I'm just a guy, you know? Do I deserve, like, you know, a medal of honor? Maybe, probably. But I'm just a guy at the end of the day. I'm just a guy. You know, and I'm like you, except better and cooler and more accomplished. I just realized that I have 2 ant infestations because you talked about bugs. And the second one was yesterday for me because you were going to do a tier list today. Stop sending them. I'm not done sending the bugs, Falcona. More are coming. In fact, you know what? I changed my mind. You're right. I need to send more ants to more people. Let's start over. Back it up. 1 second. Hold on. Axel motherfucking Serios? Are you serious right now? Sorry, I had to make that joke at least once. I know you probably get that joke every fucking day of your life. I don't care. I give you this 1 voucher to make a Ruze or Crimzon pun if you want. Enjoy. Enjoy. Megarhissa atrata, my fave species. Look at them. All right, I want to look at that right now. Holy shit, is that a parasitoid wasp? No, wait, what the hell is that? Oh, no, it is a wasp. Okay, I was like, wait a minute, what is that? Sick. Welcome back, Axel. Hello, thank you for stopping by. We're doing my bug tier list. So let's start over. Instead of using 1 bug to be representative of all bugs, I guess what I'll do, hey, pay attention. Ruze, come here. Come on, Ruze. Okay, you looking? Are you looking at the tier list? Good. All right, so let's start over. This was originally all bugs. I'm changing it. This is now representative of Avril Lavigne. No, this is actually representative of ant. There was got to be an Avril Lavigne ant joke I can make, but I never quite landed on it, I guess. I'm sorry. I wasn't fast enough. I gave myself roughly 2.5 seconds to come up with that, and it wasn't enough. It kind of died in the cannon. I loaded it in there like a fucking t-shirt at a concert, and unfortunately, it was sopping wet, and it just kind of like blew a hole through someone's chest instead of being really fun and cool. They had to call like a whole cleanup crew. It was awful. We could try Avril Lavigne. Avril Lavigne's not bad, but it kind of gives me Lightning McQueen vibes. It kind of gives me the vibe that like they're gonna do a concert about like, you know, I'm cooler than your girlfriend, but then jump off stage with a ka-chow, and I don't know how I feel about that. Anyway, so this is going to be representative of ants now. And I've decided ants absolutely 100% S tier bug, top of the adoptable bug list. Ants are literally one of the few bugs that are consistently adopted in like terrariums and ant like farms and ant like homes. People love ants. If you've been around the bugosphere for any amount of time, you've probably met Kevin. But if you haven't met Kevin, you probably have met Kevin's second less popular sort of like hanger-on who styles themselves after Kevin, and that's Ants Canada. If you haven't seen Ants Canada, you're a fucking liar. Everybody's seen, even people who don't like bugs have seen Ants Canada. AC family, thank you for tuning in for another shocking episode of Fire Nation. This time starring my own colony of homebred fire ants from the Amazon rainforest. Can they survive my terrarium I built for them? Find out today. You know you've seen Ants Canada. Everybody's seen fucking Ants Canada. I love Ants Canada. I'm making fun of him, but I'm not making fun of him because I love his content. Except recently, Ants Canada, I do see you. I see you fucking doing those back shots. And what I mean by that... All right. I shouldn't have said it like that. What I mean by that is, Ants Canada, you used to just film your ants, but lately I have seen that you've been standing in front of the camera specifically with your back muscles facing it, usually wearing a muscle shirt so that you show off like your gains. I'm pretty sure you've been working on that back, and I know you're taking those like those camera angles are strategically placed to show off I have been to the gym, and I respect it, but also, hey man. Yeah, wording, true. Is it bait for the only ants? That's a damn good question. I don't know. Only ants? Oh my god, ants are sex positive? I'm moving ants higher than adoptable bug list. Ants are... Hold on, I gotta add a new tier. Sky blue, baby. All right. Are ants an ally? All right, let's fucking go. Okay, ants, good for them. Ants are a very progressive bug, as it turns out. Ants cool. Ants cool like that. Love that for ants. Good for them. All right, so we got to make the tier list a little bit bigger again. Whoa, ignore that ad. If you saw an ad, no, you didn't. That's actually part of my art. I hid it in there on purpose. Here, I'll tell you what. What if I did this? Hell yeah, dude. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Guy who lives while looking at ants to become stronger. Honestly, that kind of fucks, though. That sounds cool as hell. I'm not gonna lie. Ants Canada, if you're listening to me, I've changed my tune entirely. Good for you for like trying to show off the gains. If you are listening, can I work out while I look at ants? Because like if you were just give me one chance to come over and look at your cool terrariums and stuff and hang out with your cool ants, I won't make you regret it, dude. I'll be so normal and I won't be weird about the ants. I won't stare at them and like I'm staring into the dark flames of fucking disaster or whatever for like 50 hours while I contemplate where my life has led me. Just saying, I'll exercise while looking at ants too. You need a gym, buddy? I got you, brother. I got you. Okay, so ants are an ally, which is really cool of ants. That puts ants above adoptable bug. Ants are objectively probably one of the best bugs. I'll go out on a limb. People always ask me, what's your favorite bug, Crimzon Rulez? And they're always expecting some like fucking crazy ass answer, like Katydidus, fucking like I don't know, like Astronomica or whatever the fuck. And it's like, dude, I don't know bugs by their scientific name. I'm on the ground with the bugs. I don't stay in my fucking ivory tower studying bugs from a textbook, all right? Forgive me, princess. I didn't know you were out there like drawing diagrams of bugs, but I live with bugs. I am one with the bugs. And my favorite bug is ants. They're salt of the earth. They're regular, they're cool, they're social insects, which is absolutely fucking crazy. They have so many behaviors that just aren't seen basically anywhere else in the animal kingdom, but besides a couple other bugs, basically. They're like industrious, they're fun, they're interesting, their homes are interesting, the way they behave amongst other ants is interesting. They're just really cool. I like bugs. But I really like ants. I think ants are cool as hell, man. I think ants might be my favorite bug. Do spiders count as bugs? We're going to talk about that here in a bit. Now, it's important that we stay, like, when we have this academic discussion, it's important that we are respectful to each other and to the bugs we're talking about when we discuss whether or not spiders are bugs. Because there's a lot of things that may or may not be considered a bug, but we're going to have to, like, be chill about it. Now, I'm not getting anywhere on this tier list right now, and I don't want to be here for 4 hours because I'm dying. I'm actively dying as we speak. I can feel this body dying all around me from my, like, I don't know, hour and a half of blinking after a whole day of being like awake for 36 hours after only blinking for like 3 hours before that. So we're gonna have to keep it moving. When I was in elementary school, I saved a webbed up wasp from a dead spider's nest with my own hands. I was so fucking awesome. That sounds metal as hell. Go do it again. Do it right now. Oh, I had an ad peeking? No, I didn't. You didn't see it. Oh, it is trying to peek out down there, isn't it? You sly dog, you. I really gotta hide that ad because that ad will get me in trouble. Close one. All right. So, next bug on the list. Let's keep moving. What bug do we have here? This bug is all right. So I'm ignore that. I'm just loading it into the cannon. All right. This is not where I'm putting this bug. I'm just loading it into the cannon. I'm gonna load it into the Kevin cannon. We're gonna call this the Kevin. All right. So I've loaded this bug into the Kevin. It was not a bad dragon agriculture. It's not bad dragon agriculture. It was an ad for something even more dangerous, even more unfriendly on stream. Something that will get you banned way quicker than Bad Dragon, and that is an animation super giant who owns everything in the universe and has their CEO's severed head in a locker or some shit. Anyway, so loaded into the Kevin here is a snug bug and a rug. who's tucked into a beautiful bed. This is what everybody, I think we all know this one. This is a very classic bug. Everybody's dealt with this bug before. And by that, I mean, no one's ever actually seen this bug. It's probably made up. I don't think this bug exists. I think this bug is sort of like Mothman or Bigfoot, and people just talk about it and pretend it exists to make sure that you like behave. You know what I mean? Make sure you don't go out on the wrong side of the forest at night. This is sort of like a Red Riding Hood sort of cautionary tale. This is a bed bug. Bed bugs, as we know, don't exist. Bed bugs are fake. They're made up so you'll change your sheets and make your bed and stuff or whatever, so your mama don't have to deal with your stank ass just fucking sitting around in her own like juices or whatever. She don't need you mog maxing and hammer facing your jaw while you try to like fucking do some pheromone ultra essence stuff, right? So they made up bed bugs. They made up bed bugs, which is like a type of bug that sleeps in your bed. So the tale goes as follows. If you don't make your bed every day and, you know, change out your sheets and wash them every once in a while, a bug will come and he'll fluff your pillow the wrong way. So one night, you know, you go to sleep and your pillow doesn't feel quite right. Fine. No big deal. Not comfortable. Not good. The next night, he'll fluff your pillow wrong and he'll take your blankets. So you can't find your blankets anywhere. Where are my blankets? You say to yourself, I can't find my blankets and my pillow's fluffed wrong. But you go to sleep. No big deal. The next night, this is where it gets spicy, right? The bed bug will eat your mother. I don't know what that's about. That's just part of old fables for some reason. A parent always gets eaten. It has nothing to do with any of the moral conundrum or story. I think that's just the part where they try to scare you. But then the next night, it escalates even further. All right? This is where it gets scary. So it goes from like, fucks up your pillow, steals your blanket, eats your mama. Next night, the bed bug will track mud into your home, and that's really annoying because then you gotta like, you know, fix all that. You gotta clean the carpet, you gotta darn your socks or whatever the fuck it is that Father McKenzie was getting up to. Oh wow, I'm really word vomiting. Uh-oh, I am tired. Uh-oh. Anyway, lastly but not leastly, on the 5th night, if you have not cleaned your bed, if you not changed your fucking sheets or whatever and cleaned your mattress and made your bed, that bug will show up and he'll sleep in your bed. And it's gross because he's a bug, I guess. I don't know. That's the whole fable. So shows up, fucks up your pillow, steals your blanket, eats your mama, tracks mud in the house, takes your bed, just sleeping in your bed. You go over there, it's a fucking bed. It's a bed. It's a bug in your bed. That's a bed bug. So that's how the fable goes. Personally, I don't think this is real. I don't think this is real at all. I'm tempted to put it in the Kevin tier. But if bed bugs were real, if they were a type of bug that lived in your bed and bit all over your body or whatever, give you a little nibble on the, a little nibble on the sack while you're in the sack, I think that would be pretty bad. That would be a perish in hellfire. But since I don't think they're real, I'm going to put bed bugs in Kevin. I'm going to say those guys go in the Kevin tier. Yeah, that seems fair to me. They need to perish in hellfire. Well, the thing is, I just don't know. Okay, so here's the thing, though. The hellfire tier is metaphorical, guys. Like, that's not real. Like hell. Sorry, I'm kidding. The hellfire tier is more like the idea of, like, burning them with actual fire. You know what I mean? Like, actual fucking fire, dude. Like, that's the concept of perish in hellfire. Where, for a fantastical creature like a bedbug, which doesn't exist, I think Kevin. Bedbugs are very real. My grandparents had an infestation of them. Nightmare fuel. Oh. Are you sure it was bedbugs, though? Is it possible it could have been a flea? How do you know you're not being bug reductionist? How do you know you're not just judging bugs based on being tiny? I don't think bed bugs exist. I've never seen a bed bug. Listen, here's the thing. If bed bugs existed, then how come I've never seen one? Riddle me that. Riddle me that. Brother, just Google bed bugs. No, because there's a lot of bed bug propaganda out there, and I don't think that's fair. Yeah, okay. Yeah, sure, yeah. Ruze, just Google bed bugs. Just Google bed bug. Google Bigfoot. Google Bigfoot. Yeah, Google it right now. I heard it's cicada season in the Midwest. Sure fucking is. It's kind of banging out here, dude. It's bussin'. We had to shut down a whole ward in the ER because of bed bugs. In the ER. That's how serious we take it. Let them burn. Wow. You guys believe in bed bugs for real? No, this is my tier list. Bed bugs stay in the Kevin tier. I've decided. Listen, I'll tell you what. I'll make this concession. If bed bugs were real, we would put them in Perish and Hellfire, because stealing someone's bed is not nice. That's not cool. That's high up on the list of like cinema sins. That's why Goldilocks got eaten by those bears or whatever, 'cause she stole their bed. But since bed bugs are fake, we're keeping them in the Kevin tier. All right, for now. This is my tier list. They're staying in the Kevin tier. This is a tier list. This is a propaganda stream sponsored by Big Bed Bug. Whoa! Ladies, no, ladies haven't. If I were sponsored by Big Bed Bug, which doesn't exist, by the way, if I were sponsored by Big Bed Bug, do you think they would tell me to put them in the fake tier that they don't exist? No. They'd be up in the adoptable bug tier. They'd be above that even. How do you know the bed bugs that you think you got weren't just fleas or nanobots made by the government to bite you right on the butt? I feel like you're going to jinx yourself with your negative 100 luck. That's a good point, Wings of Hope. I got to be careful. I got to be careful not to jinx myself with this totally fantastical fake creature that does not exist. Zuna, thank you for the delicious chip. All right. I'm done. That's enough talking about bed bugs. Bed bugs go in Kevin. It's pretty much set, I think. How do you guys like my renditions so far of all these beautiful bugs? That's Nanomachine, son! Yeah, so fun fact, actually, bed bugs did feature prominently in Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, Birth by Half over 12 Sleeps, Dream Drop DJ. That did have a lot of bed bugs in it because the president of the United States got covered, or sorry, the senator who killed the president or whatever got covered in bed bugs, and that's how he fought Raiden, who, fun fact, was using his mantis katana to fight the senator. It was pretty cool. The bugs are looking beautiful as all bugs are. Oh yeah, how do you guys like my bug imagery? I made these by hand. I made these by fucking from scratch. I was gonna make like 10. I fucked up and made a lot more of that. I got really into it. I just kind of started going for it, dude. I was like, oh, I could just crank these fucking bad boys out like I did the food tier list. I did not crank them out like I did the food tier list. I got too into it. All right, so let's go on to the next one. So this bug's got a lot of good PR, and I do think that this bug is kind of like the panda of the bug world, which is to say I think it's a little overrated. It's a very cute bug. I like this bug. Let me get ahead of this real quick. Now, let me be clear. Let me get ahead of this a little bit and say I do like this bug. I do like this bug. It's a very cute bug. It's a very cool bug. I think it's very important. I think it's great for the environment. I do think it gets the reputation it deserves, but I think that sometimes, you know, when the shadow is so large that you cast across the world, you can set an unfair precedent for every other bug that might try to live up to what you got going on, and not every bug can do that, right? So, oh, don't look at my bug list. Stop. Don't look. You're not supposed to see it. Okay. So I'm gonna load that one up in Kevin for a minute. That's our bug right there. All right. So we got bees. This is the big one. This is one of the big ones. This is one of the big bugs. This is one of the big bugs. I know what you're thinking. Oh, that's not that big a bug, Crimzon Rulez. There's like 12 bugs that people really like. Okay, I'm talking about there's like 12 bugs amongst the billions of bugs in the world. There's like millions upon billions of species of fucking bugs, all right? And bees really kind of like, they eat a lot of the damn pie. They really are the meme of the guy, like Kevin Spacey or whatever the fuck, the Family Guy meme where the guy's sitting at the table and he's eating all the fucking like mashed potatoes and his kids are looking like fucking, I don't know, Fallout ghouls, and they're like, please father, may I have a single potato? And he's like, you can eat when I'm done, and he stabs them with a fork or whatever. That's bees, but with like bug clout. Bees are eating bug clout all day. And I like bees. I really do like bees. But here's the thing. I think they're a little overrated. They kind of steal ants' thunder. They kind of steal other pollinators' thunder. They're very cute. They're very charming. They're very important for flowers. They're awesome. I love bees. I think that they display a lot of the same behavior ants display that I like in ants. But I'm going to say it. You know what? I'm tired. I can't keep living this lie. I can't do this. Okay. I got Ruzeters. Maybe it's the like sleep deprivation. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think a lot of people in the market right now, especially in the VTuber space, are afraid to like speak their mind, you know, and be honest about their feelings because they're afraid they're gonna get a lot of like negative fallout around the things that they say. And I'm not. I'm gonna stand up to Big Bug right now, Big Bad Bug, and I'm gonna say it. I think bees are just wasps without any riz. Like bees are just lame wasps. I'm sorry. Now bees are great. I love bees. I think they're important for the environment. They're awesome. They're cute. But I think that bees at this point have kind of become the nice guy of bugs, which is to be like, oh, I'm just a little bee. Oh, don't hurt that. That's just a bee. Like if it was a wasp, you could kill it. But like that's just a little bee. He's not hurting anybody. He's so cute. He's so sweet. That bee will fuck you up just as much as a wasp. Yeah, I might die doing it, but it'll still try to do it. I think bees at this point have gotten too much love for too long. They've had it too nice, and I think they kind of expect it. Like bees roll up to you and they've got this energy of, if you don't like me, you're a bad guy. I don't think that's fair. I think it's, you know what? I'll say it. I think it's incel behavior. I think it's B cell behavior. I think wasps deserve a lot of love, and I don't think bees get it. Or I don't think bees give that space to wasps to be loved, and I don't think that's fair. I think wasps are also important. Numa, thank you. Numa, thank you for the soup and for jumping in on my side of this debate. If anything, I'd say a wasp is a dude bro bee. I think wasps are bees, but with fucking aura. I think wasps are to bees as like, you know, wolves are to corgi. Like, yes, obviously you don't want a fucking wolf in your house, right? You don't want to hanging out, vibing with your kids, possibly eating your delicious lasagna the day you make it, and then maybe complaining about Mondays. You don't want a wasp or a wolf or whatever metaphor I'm talking about doing that, right? And like bees would make better neighbors, as in like this cute sort of like teeth off softened creature that you keep around because you don't want the wild in, but the wild still has to exist. Wasps still gotta live, right? They still gotta be out there doing their own thing, you know, taking care of the world, being badasses. Wasps have developed a hard outer shell and a hard reputation because they live in a hard world. Bees got it made. Humans take care of bees. We've domesticated bees. They live in their own, we build them apartment complexes, all right? Is the peak integration still on? Why do you ask? Thanks for the suit, though. Mexican honey wasps are cool in any bee, actually. Thank you, Aromantic. Thank you. The bees didn't ask to be famous. Don't be a hater. Okay, but the thing is, I'm not blaming the bees themselves. I'm blaming bees' PR. This is like pandas. You know how pandas stole their name from red pandas? How red pandas were pandas before pandas were pandas? And now everybody's like, oh, red pandas. They must be named for pandas. The lesser panda. No, man, red pandas were literally pandas first. Pandas stole that from them, and then they got relegated to being the off-brand panda. That's bees, man. Bees have made it so that no other bug can get good PR because everybody's like, save the fucking bees, save the fucking bees. I get it, dude. Bees are important, but let's move aside a bit. You got to know when it's not your turn. Listen, I know this intimately, all right? Actually, I can't say that on government's platform. I changed my mind. I changed my mind. I'm not tired enough to make that joke. All right. Anyway. The point is, sometimes from when you're speaking from a place of privilege, right? When you're speaking from a place of privilege, it's important to learn when it's not your turn to talk. When it's not your turn to fill the space with your fucking bullshit, all right? Sometimes you got to give space for other people, other marginalized groups to speak their fucking mind because you got no business talking, and that's bees in the bug world. I love bees. I'd share a little treat with a bee. I'm not going to say bees are an adoptable bug, all right? They're adopted already. They're adopted. They don't need to be adoptable. They've been adopted. They live with humans. All right. Now that we're here. They're more like employees. Yeah, well, whatever. I wouldn't call that. Well, hold on. All right. So let's take a couple steps backwards. More like employees? Well, I would say there was a time. I don't think that's an employee. Subcontractors, sure. They unionize? That'd be cool if they unionized. Yeah, I think they're like medieval fiefdom type stuff, right? Like those are serfs at best. Bees unionized, do they? Oh, fuck, I forgot about the documentary. Oh, shit. I forgot about that documentary featuring fucking Tom Hiddleston when he was voice acting that bee who that one lady had a crush on for some reason. She broke up with her husband Kronk for him. Shit. Okay, that might move bees up a tier. They do unionize. That's kind of funny. They do fight the man. That's kind of sick. Yeah, I would say that moves bees up a tier. Oh, that's what it's called, the bee movie. Yeah. If a beehive isn't happy, they will leave. Seriously? Huh. Did you say Tom Hiddleston and not Jerry Seinfeld? That's the same guy. There's one British actor. It's the same guy. Is Tom Hiddleston British? I don't fucking know. I also don't give a shit. As far as I'm concerned, that's just a tall, somewhat emaciated, lanky dude. He's the same guy. It's just an amorphous man. It's like an Enderman. They just change their face and they act. Fun fact, Jerry Seinfeld is a character Tom Hiddleston plays. Bees give us extra honey in exchange for housing and protection. It's like symbiosis or something. See, they're already adopted. They're already... No, I changed my mind. They're going back down and share a little treat. Bees have had a maid for too long. I'm done. That's bees. Bees are done. Bees are done. Am I losing you guys? Are you still staying focused? How are we feeling? How's our great bug bake-off hitting right now? You guys holding up? Here, let me keep the Jerry Seinfeld fans placated. 1 second. Good day, governors. Thank you for coming to my bees talk. There you go. Okay, so now that I've got you guys locked in, let's keep moving. Who's next? Oh, this one's okay. So this one's also got good PR, but for good. I think this one deserves the good PR. This one deserves it. All right, so I'm gonna move. I'm gonna just blast this one right off the fucking Tumblr Arenas and Tumblr Rights. He did not mean that. Please vote for him in the poll. I meant what I said. Tumblr likers, Tumblr watchers, you listen to me. I am not an adoptable man. I'm strong. Sorry, I'm strong. I'm cool. All right, so listen, I'm gonna fire this one right off the list and where it belongs. This one is like bees. It has really good PR, but it ain't working hard enough. That PR is not carrying as hard as it should. I think butterflies deserve to be in an adoptable bug list. How can you rage bait so confidently like this? Because it would rage. Here's the thing, rage bait implies I don't believe what I'm saying. I think butterflies are one of the most adoptable bugs, which is to say, butterflies do not have it good right now. They're having a bad time with like environmental changes and like the destruction of a lot of their like native land, and a lot of their like migration patterns are getting fucked up because they're losing a lot of their landmarks and the areas where they would usually like pupate or lay their eggs. A lot of like different species of butterfly are struggling real bad right now, and it's not looking too good for the home team. I do think butterflies need to be adopted. I think butterflies, and specifically butterflies like areas of life, need to be adopted by humans, and I'm tired of pretending I don't. In fact, I think we should probably start a new government program where every person who wants to have a child has to have at least, let's say 500 plus butterflies before they're allowed to have a kid. I think before you can take care of, if you can't responsibly handle 500 butterflies and getting them to like being butterflies, like fully grown butterflies, you're not ready to be a parent. Yeah, in their home. Yep. If you can't feed 500 caterpillars to metamorphosize into butterflies, you're not ready to be a parent. Aren't butterflies more liked in mainstream, though? They are, but they're not seen as important as pollinators, I don't feel. I think bees get the credit for that. Like, the first thing that comes to your mind when you say pollinator is bee. I think people don't think about butterflies enough. And also, I haven't been seeing as many butterflies lately, and it pisses me off. Every time I see a monarch butterfly now, I'm like, oh boy! And I shouldn't feel like that. I used to see them all the time. Dude, I could barely feed myself. Motherfucker, if I hear a single motherfucker in here complain about not being able to feed a butterfly, I swear to God, I will slap the fucking molars to the front of your mouth. I will rearrange your teeth with a backhand. Go outside. Pick a leaf. What the fuck are you talking about? I can't feed myself. Okay? Eat a butterfly or two. The environment's so bad, you actually get excited to see a butterfly. That's where I'm at right now. We could eat the bees. That'd be cool, yeah. You could eat the bees. That'd be sick. Why is bedbug not... You'll have to rewatch the VOD if you want to know why bedbug isn't Kevin. Yeah. Yeah. That sounds awesome, Randrymon. You have an entire acre property and you want the entire back area to be wildflowers? That would be beautiful. Do it. Do it. You won't. Do it. That's crazy, Chewy Nubbins. So here's a fun fact about butterflies, and this is something I think scientists are really struggling with right now, and I don't know why they're struggling. I don't think they're struggling with it. I think there's just like sort of philosophical question about butterflies, and I don't know why we debate this question, really. But there's this concept of like, okay, so once the caterpillar goes into its chrysalis, and it like melts down in its like primordial soup or whatever, and it turns into like fucking like raw like jumba juice or whatever the fuck, right? Like it goops up into like a slime. Like it turns into a level 1 slime in there, and then it eventually like comes out. It's a butterfly. I think there's this concept, this sort of like miscommunication where people are like, oh, like it's transforming into a beautiful butterfly. I don't fucking think so, dude. That caterpillar died. That caterpillar literally fucking liquefied itself. Like that thing got cooked. It turned itself into raw, delicious juice, and then a new creature formed itself out of that juice. Butterflies and caterpillars, as far as I'm concerned, that's not the same thing. That's not the same species. Those are completely separate species, arguably, that happen to exist within the same blueprint, which is incredibly fascinating, super cool, super fucking awesome. I love that. That's insane. Life really will just fucking find a way, right? But that butterfly is not that caterpillar. It's not like a, oh, I have all my memories of eating leaves as a baby. That butterfly is a totally new beast. That butterfly is thinking, I gotta suck some fucking flower pollen and I gotta go get some fuck. That's all that butterfly's thinking. I gotta get out of here. I gotta lay babies or make babies or whatever. That's it. That butterfly's not thinking, I gotta crawl around and eat a leaf. I remember when I was a young caterpillar, you know, fucking just roaming the streets trying to make ends meet. That is not what that butterfly's thinking about. They keep memories. Yeah, that's life. All right. There's a lot of things that keep memories. Sure, a lot of animals are born with memories. It's built into their genetic code. That doesn't mean that butterfly is a caterpillar. That caterpillar is gone. That caterpillar died. The same way, like, if I turned into a worm, I would no longer be the same Ruze. I would have metamorphosized. I'm a new thing. But I think butterflies are fucking cool. They're awesome. They belong in an adoptable bug, and I like them. Butterflies will drink blood if available. That's sick. Ruze, there's research that individual memories are maintained. Did you ask the butterflies? I don't believe you. Butterflies do remember life as a caterpillar. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And honestly, I also, here's the other side of it. Here's the other side of it. And this is where you're not going to like it. I don't care. A few memories does not the creature make. I'll say that. You might not like that, but it's true. It's kind of like when people are like, Crimzon Rulez, if you were insert thing or in insert world or insert narrative, what would you be? And the answer is always whatever I would be in that narrative. And they're like, what do you mean by that? I'm like, I would fundamentally be changed by the difference in my like genetic makeup or the memories I formed within that reality, right? So people are like, oh, Crimzon Rulez, if you were a fucking, I don't know, a night elf, what would it be like? I'd be like, I don't know, I'd be a night elf. Like, it'd be different. It would be different. I'd be a different thing with different memories and different attitudes. Like, yeah, I am Shipathesiusing the butterfly, and I will too, because it has a completely different like setup. It's got different directives, it's got different motivations, it's got different goals, and it might retain some of its memories, but it no longer functions off of those memories in any like meaningful context. Does that make sense? That is not the same creature anymore. It has changed so fundamentally. It is Shipathesiused. It might be made of the same like pieces because it got gooped up, souped up, slurried around, twisted upside down. Now its butthole is its mouth, but it's not necessarily the same thing just because it's made of the same pieces. That's like saying I am also part of the lamb because I ate mutton. The lamb is me now. It's metamorphosized. No. Butterflies might retain memories, but I cannot remember my life before I wasn't a Ruzader. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Am I right? Up top. My man, the leak. That's me grabbing your arm. We just did like we did like the very strong like flex, but grab hands thing. Thanks for 8 months. Sorry, I'm tired as fuck. The lo-fi is not hitting the energy I'm hitting. I had to have lost at least a few people on that ramble for a minute there. You know what? Here, hold up. I got you. Ruzaders, pay attention. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Jingle, jingle. Here, have a cute bug. Jingle, jingle. Look at that. Ooh, bug slideshow. Ooh, it's going too fast. Hold on. I don't like that. I've decided this has got to stay for like 8,000 milliseconds. All right, here it comes. Boom. That's for you, Ruzaders. Enjoy. Jingle, jingle, jingle. That's a little centipede. He's a cute little guy. He's got a little mustache. It's a butterfly. Listen, we were just talking about that guy. It's a me. You have cured my ADHD, you whimsical creature. I got you. Let's go. Anyway, butterflies belong to an adoptable bug. Adopt a butterfly today. Help them survive. Help them like take care of our environment by us taking care of them. Right? Right. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Is that an aphid? What the fuck is that? Some sort of leaf bug? Oh, what's that? That's just a picture of a stick. I don't know why I put that in there. Sorry. Okay, next up on the list. Let's grab it and fire and forget. You guys tell me if you know what this is. I'm putting it in the cannon. The cannon is Kevin. Kevin's the cannon from which I fire bugs at you. This is our next little guy right here. What are we thinking for this guy? What do you guys think? Ruzader sensory video? You're welcome. Yep. Alexandria, thank you for the soup. All right, so we've got this little guy. Your common housefly. That's right, baby. That's Freddy Fly. Fun fact, Freddy Fly actually has been in some of your favorite media. You may have seen Freddy Fly in Silence of the Lambs. You might have seen Freddy Fly. He got typecast for a long time where he would only show up in the webs of spiders before they, like, you know, inevitably ate Freddy Fly or whatever. But lately he's been doing pretty well. He actually made a cameo in Gold Bullet's debut, believe it or not. So Freddy Fly has been getting a lot of work lately. I think his acting career is really kicking off, but we're not judging him based on his acting career. I know everybody's very excited because Freddy Fly is very famous. He's been in a lot of movies, blah, 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 blah. Let's judge Freddy Fly based on Freddy Fly's like place within the animal kingdom or bugdom in this case. What do we think about flies? Where are flies at? Annoyance, get off my lawn. That's a solid garden tier. Okay, so we already have a huge disagreement immediately. Like, Alistair says, yeah, you could live in the garden, and Servaday immediately hits the stay off my fucking lawn. Get away from me. I'm seeing a lot of garden and go away. That's actually pretty interesting. So you can actually kind of detect the level of poverty based on... Growing up poor, I'm kind of in the stay off my lawn. What the fuck is that? That was a daddy long leg, if you're wondering. I'll tell you about him later. Tie a hair around him and keep him on a leash. Here's the thing. Bed now. No. Here's the thing. I'm Australian and I come from the wagon lots. Get out of my lawn. Listen, the thing is, all right, I'll be honest. Can I have a confession to make. I have a confession to make. My hands aren't clean. I've got blood on my hands, all right? I've done some stuff. I've done some things. I've done some dark things, things that I'm not proud of. One of the only ways, so like when you're a kid, right? You're often like given odd tasks or odd jobs to make money. So like a lot of kids, you know, they got sent out to like, I don't know, sell cookies or like mow lawns or whatever. But me, my stepdad was getting pissed off at flies. There's too many flies. So he told me he would give me a dime for every fly I killed. And I'll be damned if little Ruze didn't sit there and it was a dark day. It was a bloody day for flies. It was, I'm not proud of what I did. I went full fucking like, you know, loathsome dung eater type shit. Except in this case, I was the loathsome like fly killer. The loathsome fly catcher. And I mean, I collected like a ton of fly bodies. I killed so many fucking flies. Because there was just so many around us all the time, right? And I probably knocked the fly population in my home down by roughly 80-85%. Like, I caught a lot of flies. Fun fact, I never did get paid for that. Once my stepdad saw the amount of flies I had, he backpedaled real fast. And by that, I mean, he said, okay, I'll pay you next paycheck. And then that never happened. But anyway, I am somebody who understands the value of flies, and I get it. I get why the flies are important to the environment, but they are kind of really fucking annoying. And I don't think that's like, that's not a crime, right? It's not illegal to be an annoying little fucker, but flies are really annoying. And sometimes they give you a little jump. You know what I mean? You're sitting there and you're thinking like, oh boy, I sure hope a brown recluse spider doesn't descend off the fucking ceiling and land on my face and bite me in such a way that they like begin melting my flesh. And then a fly buzzes by and baps you in the dome and you're like, fuck! Ah! And you're like, oh, it's just a fly. You know what I mean? I'm gonna say flies personally for me. Okay, here's the other thing though. I'll be real. I think they're kind of charming. I know, that's weird. I think flies are kind of charming. I think they can live in the garden. I like looking at them, dude. I just think they have like a fun body plan. I like their little iridescent bodies, the way they catch the light with like their shiny little colors. And I like the way they like rub their little hands together. And also, you know, I got to give it up to my step parents, the flies, who raised me and taught me to like rub my hands together and then rub my face and then like, you know, spit on my food to like pre-digest it and then shovel it all into my mouth as fast as I can. Like, I got to give it up to my step parents, you know, big love to them for instilling good morals in me. And teach me to stay clean like flies are. I think flies are cool. I like looking at flies. I think they can at least live in the garden. I don't know if I'd want them to like live in my house because it gets real ridiculous real quick. But I like flies, actually. I'm sorry. I think they're cool. I think they can live in the garden. I killed my step-parents? Well, no. This is, okay, so it's kind of like a Stuart Little type of situation, right? Like, I got adopted by House MD, and that was my human step-parents. But then my real parents, the ones I was born to, came and they're like, you can't take care of Ruze. You don't know how that works. Like, he's a fly. It's in his blood. Come on. Gabba-da-gooby. Come home and have some pasta with me, Ruze. So I went back home with my real parents, which were not my real parents, as it turns out. They were just like scam artist flies trying to make a quick buck. But, you know, I lived with them for a while. They were flies, and they taught me a bit about, you know, life, love, staying clean. But eventually I did go and live with my human parents again. So, yeah. But for a while, I was raised by flies for a little bit. That's why I rub my hands together all the time and rub my face a lot. That's why I'm always doing this. That's why I'm always touching my face. My grandfather and great-grandfather became flies. Mine were eaten by flies, probably at some point. Stuart Little mentioned, fun fact, I tried to rewatch Stuart Little the other day because I've seen that movie exactly one time when I was a baby. It doesn't hold up. Felt like watching Spy Kids or some shit. I was like, damn. I already remember being like, when I watched it as a kid. I tried to watch it as an adult man. Oh, wow. All I remember is being jealous he could fit in an RC car. Same. And apparently he gets in a little boat at some point. That's kind of banger. I'm a little jealous. I'm like, damn, this guy could play grounded real. What's wrong with Spy Kids, Ruze? I imagine it does not hold up. I haven't watched it since I was a baby, but I imagine it does not hold up. Watch it again to find out. Nope, this is about bugs. All right, bug tier list continues. Now we're getting to the big dogs. We're getting to the creme de la creme. The fucking ultimate tier, the unsung heroes of the bug world. This is to bugs as crabs is to bugs. Does that make sense? No? Fuck you. All right, let's load them up into Kevin. Line them up. Get that fucking gunpowder pumped in there and tamp it down, baby, because we're loading in beetles. Now, beetles. Fuck. Beetles, fuck. Beetles are cool as hell. If you ask me what fantasy giant bug would you try to domesticate, it's a motherfucking beetle. Beetles pulling wagons sounds cool as hell. Beetles just roaming around, munching lawns like weird giant goats sounds cool as hell. Beetles being ridden into war as mounted steeds, that's fucks, man. Beetles are sick. Beetles make up like a bajillion% of all bugs. There's a bajillion, quadrillion, quintillion beetles. You can't even represent the amount of beetles in the world. Beetles are so fucking cool. Beetles evolved such a banger body plan, which was, I'm hard, that every other bug had to copy them, all right? Beetles, literally, they're not here to fight. They're not here to, like, argue with you. They just said, no, you may not pierce my armor. That's it. That's the plan. That's cool as fuck. Beetles really said, I am too thick for you. Move on, motherfucker. I love Beetle. Beetles are cool. They look cool. They look like aliens. They remind me of those strange walkers the Protoss had in StarCraft 1. I found the bestest bug of all time right here. A finger? You're mistaken, Tristan. Fingers are not bugs. I know they're tiny, but tiny does not always equal bugs. See, this is common issues. This is what happened. Like, actually, fun fact, a lot of people thought Stuart Little was about a bug, but that's a mouse. He's tiny, but he's not a bug. Beetles are taking one very specific singular build and modifying it with increasingly niche skill trees, and I love it. Yeah, I love beetles. Beetles are so fucking cool. Time to look up the diabolical ironclad. I've seen an ironclad beetle, but I'm gonna look it up anyway because I want to look at it. So fucking cool, dude. So fucking cool. They said you cannot hurt me. An ironclad beetle is the equivalent of if a man just walked under a like falling building and said no. No. I love beetles. I think beetles are sick. They come in great body plants. Also, I think beetles are a good entry into bugs because beetles tend not to have like a lot of, okay, so I've been thinking about bugs a lot while drawing these, obviously, and like I'm drawing these cute little bugs, whatever, and it's got me thinking, what makes a bug cute? And there's a lot of cute bugs, right? There's bugs with good PRs, like bees, butterflies, honestly, probably ants, caterpillars, that kind of shit, right? Like those bugs got good PR. What makes a creepy bug, right? Things like, I would say, arguably, like centipedes, spiders, like sometimes house centipedes, that kind of stuff, like kind of creeps people out. And I think it's a lot of different things, but I think one of the big ones is spindliness contributes directly to creepiness. But on top of that, often things with like too many moving parts. And beetles keep it simple, right? They're smooth, they're shiny, they're kind of like they look a little bit like minivans in bug form, right? They don't have like a lot of like joints or like oopy goopy like spindly parts. Like it's usually big flat surfaces for long planes. Sometimes they have big horns that can kind of like almost mammalize them in our head, right? Like we start to like evoke imagery of like rhinoceroses or like triceratops or whatever. So you start to like disassociate them with bugs, right? Because they're not like a bunch of tiny moving creepy parts with giant eyeballs. And I think that kind of contributes to beetles being a good entry point to bugs because they seem a little bit less alien. I think beetles are cool. They're great PR for bugs. I love beetles. I think I'm gonna put them in an adoptable bug. I think beetles deserve to be there. I think they've earned it. Leah says, diving beetles, let's fucking go! A crab caught me yesterday. I was honored. Thank you for 30 months of being a jackaxe. I'm glad you were honored. Also, yeah, beetle noise, wing noise is really cool, though I will say that is something that scares people about beetles. If you've ever been around the Midwest when June bugs come out, that can really get people scared of beetles, which is a bummer because they do come at you like they're fucking, they do come at you like they are trying to catch a body. So that's not their fault. It's just how they fly, but I get it. Citron says, incredible use of beetles as a mount and Oban Star Racers for the beetle fans out there. Oban Star Racers? Is that the one? Is that like the... Is that in the Code Lyoko like genre? I call it the big forehead genre. Is that... I'm thinking of that, right? Beetles rock. They're just little critters. The only time I think about beetles as mounts is when I think about Krug Smash's Beetle Fortress series, where he had a bunch of dwarves that tamed giant like rhinoceros beetles and used them as basically like beasts of labor and burden. They were very cute. They have big mustaches. LCO says, have you heard about the recently discovered ballista spider? They have a whole new hunting strategy. Do they fire acidic like internals at things to melt them? Because that sounds cool as hell. I've not heard about that. I'll go look at them in a bit. Thank you for the soup. Ballista spider? That's a banger name, though. Or do they fire webbing at people? Because that'd be kind of cool. So, fun fact, ballista spiders, actually, they're ballista spiders, tragically, their home is also under siege. They are becoming a quickly endangered species because ballista spiders only nest on ballistas. And as we know, ballista production has slowed down around the world. It's very sad. We need to start making more ballistas as soon as possible because the ballista spider is almost extinct. Yeah, we're running out of ballistas, but it's okay. We'll get more. We'll get more. All right, listen, I'm not going to make it through this tier list if I don't hurry. I have way more than like 10 bugs. So let's keep moving. I can't keep talking about every single thing that comes to my mind. Just give you a little spoiler about what bug comes after this, but let's start with this one. I think this one also has pretty good PR. I think some people find them creepy, but for the most part, they're one of the most harmless bugs. I think they get a good rap based solely on being incredibly pathetic and just in general being seen as not a threat ever. They're really going for like the couldn't hurt a fly, ooh, babyfication of bugs. So I think that's where a lot of their good reputation comes from. And I'll be honest, I'm not fucking immune to the PR. I think caterpillars are adorable. I tend to just like, if I see a caterpillar, I try to shush them off the side of the walkway into the grass or whatever to make sure they're staying safe, or I put them on a little tree or whatever. Caterpillars are great. I like caterpillars. They ain't doing nothing wrong. That's my stupid fucking chud son. He wants to eat leaves, get fat, and melt his body into a primordial soup to become a fundamentally different creature, which honestly, isn't that what all kids like aspire to? So I'm going to say this is an easy one. Not going to dwell on him for too long. Not only would I share a little treat with him, I think he's an adoptable bug. I think he's between these two because he deserves both. But I think I'm going to skew it a bit. And actually, I'm going to put him at the top of the would share a little treat tier list. Not because he is lesser than or I wouldn't adopt him, but because he is so food motivated. I think he only would want to be in this tier. I think this is his tier. This is where he wants to be. He wants a little treat. He couldn't give a shit less about the love you might provide as like a caring guardian. He just wants a delicious little treat. That's a hungry caterpillar right there. All right, so here we are at the not even halfway point, Ruzeters. How are we holding up? What do you guys think so far about the bug tier list? There's invasive ones that kill trees, though. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's invasive humans. Every one of them. Every human is invasive, but I'm not going to, I don't begrudge it. I mean, I do begrudge it a little bit. I begrudge humans existing a little bit. But, it is what it is. I'm not going to judge all caterpillars based on a couple, like, ones that attack trees or whatever, or, like, attack your specific tomato garden. You see how I said tomato? Once again, I'm appealing to the Jerry Seinfeld demographic. You're welcome. Are we going to get these icons for tier 2? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe? What demographic is that? British people. You know it already. The motherland or whatever. Isn't it? Jerry Seinfeld. He's from fucking Britain or Scotland. I don't fucking know. He's from somewhere. He's from Britain? Yes. How many times does this have to happen, dude? Like, look at fucking Timothy Champagne. Like, how many times does a British actor have to, like, pretend to have an American accent and do a really good American accent before people realize that British actors are just good at doing American accents because they're faking it? British accents aren't real, guys. It's a big joke they've played for a long time. Everybody in Britain is born with the standard non-accent, perfect king's, queen's English of the Midwestern Chad. And then as they grow up, they are trained into doing an accent to fuck with the rest of the world. That's not a real thing. They just want to seem posh. Like Posh Spice. Okay, anyway. Next one! Boop. That's a Kevin right there. No, I'm just kidding. That is, in fact, a centipede. Centipede... Let's go in the garden. You stay off my lawn. You want them to stay off your lawn? Burn in hell. All right, so I could see that Centipede's PR has not done them any favors. Okay. I get the feeling a couple people are a little bit heated about where centipedes go, and I understand that. All right, I understand that. But here's the thing: they're really fucking cool, and if we get a bug dragon Pokemon, I really hope it's a big centipede. Sort of like Eastern Dragon style giant centipede that like runs through the air with its centipede legs. I like centipedes. I think they're kind of banger, dude. I don't think they're that bad. I understand there's like dangerous centipedes, just like there's dangerous millipedes or whatever. But like, I mean, there's a lot of dangerous bugs. That doesn't mean they don't deserve to live, and that doesn't mean that all of them are dangerous. And even if they were, whatever, man, they're a part of life. Like centipedes are really cool because they give us this really unique, really like fun body plan where they take the whole "I'm just a snake but with legs" thing super seriously. What I really like about centipedes is I think that they're really like willing to commit to the bit for bugs. Centipedes, unlike most things I think in the world, are brave enough to look at snakes and say, fuck you, man, that's not impressive. And that's awesome. I think it's cool. Centipedes are kind of like trying, they have spent their entire existence trying to take snakes down a peg. Because snakes think they're just so fucking sick. They're like, oh, we're the first like slithery, squishy little things or whatever, and we don't even need legs. The centipedes are like, let's level it out a bit, you know, let's get down to earth. Let's add the legs back, but show you why this body plan works. And I think that's cool. I've got no problem with snakes. It's just snakes think they're better than everybody else. I'm a snake. Is that why it bit me? Yes. Yes. I also like that centipedes and spiders have had a rivalry since like the beginning of time. I think that's funny. I think that's really funny. I have a big centipede tattoo, so I'm biased, but S tier. Oh, okay. Well, since you gave me money, no, I'm just kidding. Here's the thing, dude. Yeah. Snakes were in the Garden of Eden and centipedes weren't. Something to think about. Yeah, Satan doesn't appear as a centipede guy. Listen, I think centipedes are cool, and Cinescorch might have maybe changed. Maybe I'm being a little bit influenced by Scolipede and Cinescorch and a couple other things. Maybe I'm succumbing to big pede. Don't say that too fast. They'll say they're saying big penis. Big peen. Maybe I'm succumbing to big pede, but I personally think centipedes are really cool. I love their color patterns. I love how like dense their plates feel dense, right? I always feel like centipedes are going to be really solid. Like their armor is going to be really solid, especially because they hang low to the ground, you know, and they just kind of like shuffle forward on those little legs. I don't know. Something about them is just really charming. Also, the way they wiggle when they walk. They ain't got to do all that. What's stopping them from just playing it like a game of Snake.io, right? Like, why don't they just go straight? I don't know, because they think it's funny to wiggle, and I think that's funny. I think that's great for them. They're like, I got to go. They're full of whimsy, dude. Not only are they taking the time to take snakes down a peg and prove that snakes ain't special, but they're also just wiggling around all over the place all the time. I don't know, something's charming about that to me. Like, their life would be so much more efficient. Listen, okay, let me explain. Have you ever seen speedrunning? Do you know what speedrunning is? Do you guys know what speedrunning is in video games? Like, this is going to feel like a bit of a tangent. It's going to feel like a little bit of like a video documentary where I'm like, and this brings us to speedrunning. And then like the black screen with the white text shows up and it says chapter 2, speedrunning. But bear with me for a second. So there's a concept of like maximum efficiency in all things, like the idea that every second adds up, every millisecond you can save adds up, and it's exponential, it's massive, right? So the idea of like, if you can cut a corner with like 2 milliseconds less, then you're saving time on every run. And over the course of multiple runs, that could save you like minutes, hours, days, years of time, both practicing and perfecting your speed in a speed run, right? Centipedes don't give a fuck, dude. Centipedes are like the direct opposite to summoning salt. Somewhere out there, there's a fucking like salty centipede, and he's telling summoning salt to go get bent. Because centipedes will whimsy max, wiggle around, and just take this most meandering, like left, right, left, right, left, right path possible, all the way down to the end of their lives. Centipedes would actually conquer the planet if they walked straight, but they don't want to. They would get so much done in a day, but they don't give a fuck because they're whimsy maxing all the time. So I'm going to say centipedes, I'd share a little treat with a centipede. I like centipedes. I think they're cool as fuck. And whimsical. Centipedes are allies? That's crazy. Now hold on. Oh, shit. You're right. They don't even walk in a straight line. Motherfucker said, I don't even know what straight is. All right, fine. You're right. Centipedes go up in allies. This is where the red bugs go. No, I'm just kidding. All right, you got me. Centipedes are allies. All right, cool. So centipedes are allies. Happy Pride to everybody. Happy Pride to centipedes are allies. I changed my mind. Centipedes are cute because they have little mustachios and they are very, very gay. Well played, centipedes. I will not stand for snake slander. I'm not slandering snakes. I've owned snakes. They just think they're better than everybody, and that's the truth. Ask any snake. Snake slander. Snander. Okay, next bug. This one's near and dear to my heart. I think a lot of us like this bug. I think it's so cool. I love this bug. I'm biased. So as a treat, I will let you guys tell me what tier to put this bug in so that I don't let my personal biases influence me as a person, because I know that I cannot judge this bug objectively. So I'm going to give this one to you guys, and whichever tier gets spammed more, I will put this bug in that tier. You guys ready? I'm putting it in the Kevin. I'm loading it up in the Kevin. So, we've got ourselves a little cicada. Now, cicadas, they do their beautiful bug songs. And they're constantly leaving their little fucking Sub-Zero ass clones around for you to crunch up. For you to have it. They are like just such a beautiful part of nature. Not only because they like provide music, they also invented like chicken poppers. You know those little like balls of chicken that are like fried up in like little like I don't know, individual popcorn chicken nuggets? That actually originated with cicadas. Fun fact. Like our ancient ancestors used to just wander around and pop those little shells in their mouth to get a little crunch. And they thought to themselves, what if we did this but with like fried dough around chicken? And that's actually where it started. They originally used to cram shredded chicken meat up into cicada shells and eat those. But then later, you know, they realized that they couldn't keep up with demand and they didn't want to like force the cicadas to become domesticated like bees. So they invented chicken poppers. Music. My watch literally warns me that it's too loud outside when they're screaming the song of their people. Yeah, it's beautiful. There is nothing that says a summer evening like hearing cicadas going off, bro. Cicadas going off will immediately, like some sort of eldritch curse, like looking upon the face of a dead, pockmarked, becrusted god from the depths, that is washed up flotsam-like to the surface to gaze madness upon the world. If you look at a cicada and hear that song, you are immediately transported into a fucking Nosdormu vision of like bonfires and s'mores and running around in the dark and chasing your friends. Like that's just how cicadas work. They will send you into a level 100 illusion spell from Skyrim immediately. You should fall asleep to cicada noises. It's nice. It's a banger banger soundtrack. Cicadas wrote the first fucking ASMR or like the white noise sleep soundtrack. They wrote it before humans were writing music. Okay, so now is the time. Start spamming. Where do cicadas go? I've given them their case. I've argued for cicadas. Go. Where do cicadas go? Adopt. Garden. Adopt. Adopt, garden, adopt, off my lawn, garden, garden, little treat, garden, 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 garden. Adopt, treat, share, garden, 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 off my lawn, treat, 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 garden, garden, adopt, stay off my lawn, garden, adopt, adopt, garden, ally, garden, garden, lawn, garden, adopt, adopt, garden. Okay, so it's between garden and adopt, definitely. I've seen a lot of garden, seen a lot of adopt, seen some ally, a couple get off my lawns. I see. Okay. So, I think that cicadas, it looks like the consensus for everybody is that cicadas mostly go in the garden. It seems like the winner is cicadas can live in the garden. Because they are too loud to be in your home. And to that I say, this is my tier list. Fuck you, cicadas go in adoptable bugs. Thank you for voting. All right, so next bug. All right, let's load them up in the cannon. Load them up in the Kevin. Liar! What? What do you want from me? Okay, gamers, we got the ever humble cockroach. Thoughts? Go. Democracy made and manifest. That's a lot of hellfire and perish. Damn, you guys do not like cockroaches. Cool, 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 cool. Holy shit! Wait a minute. I think I left my cockroach up. God damn. Server Dave, thank you for the big Crimzupa. We're gonna call that the cockroach soup. Server Day fighting for their kin, and you know what? I'm kind of inclined to agree. Is the thing. I'm kind of inclined to agree. Let me make a I knew this was gonna be okay. Listen, I knew that this was gonna be one of my greatest battles. Okay, but I've gone up the mountain. I've collected the 10 bug mandments. I've listened to the voice of the fucking lunar moth on high, and I'm coming back down with all 11 bug mandments. And I am speaking the case for the cockroaches to you. All right, I'm the Lorax. I speak for the bees. Here's the thing. I'm the Ruze, and I speak for the bees. And by this, I mean cockroaches. I think cockroaches get a lot of shit. Here's the thing. First of all, they're kind of nature's cleaners, right? Like, to hate cockroaches is to be like, I hate toilets. What, you hate indoor plumbing? You hate the advancement of being able to, like, waste dispose? You hate trash cans? What do you want to do? Just throw all your food on the floor? You know what I mean? Like, cockroaches are doing a lot of the work that we don't want to do, and you hate them for it. That's like making fun of your school janitor because they clean. Like, that's shitty. That's not nice. Cockroaches, they're doing a lot of the work we wouldn't want to do as humans, which is kind of banger. That's one. Two, cockroaches are immortal. They didn't have to do all that. The humble cockroach could have just been like, I just clean shit up. I don't want nothing from you. I ain't asking for nothing. I'm just trying to live my life. And that could have been it. But instead, like some bald dude running to get groceries, cockroaches cannot be killed, right? Like, someone drops a nuclear warhead down, and you're like, oh my God, who will save us from this nuclear warhead? And a cockroach is like, just going about their business. You're like, aren't you afraid? Shouldn't we be panicking? He's like, I don't give a shit. I got to pay my bills. I got taxes. That nuke hits him, and he still clocks in at his 8 o'clock fucking, like, he goes to his 9 to 5. Like, he goes to work the next day. That cockroach don't care. He didn't have to be the most indestructible metal bug to ever live. He's just the janitor. But he does it just to prove that if he wanted to, he could. A cockroach being invincible is kind of like when you're, like, trying to be, like, tough, right? And you threaten, like, the smallest guy in the room. You pick on, like, the smallest guy in the room. And then you learn that that dude has killed, like, 500,000 men and could easily, like, pull your intestines out through your fucking eyelids, right? Like, that's cockroaches. They're just showing us if they wanted to, they would own this planet. But instead, they continue being janitors. That's a power move, dude. I don't know. I think cockroaches are kind of cool. That's all I'm saying. Hey, what's up, Lamb? Welcome in. I feel okay with them until they fly. That's fair, Kristen. That's fair. Lambriel, you'll have to watch the VOD if you want to know. Have I sold you? Have I sold you? Rin Yuki says, I just hate it when they suddenly fly, but I usually catch it and let it free in the wild. I got bad news for you. If you've let a cockroach out of your house and you didn't drive it like miles and miles away, that cockroach still lives with you. That cockroach still lives with you. I want you to know that. Why do they fill humans with primal fear? I think most bugs fill humans with primal fear. It's a mimetic memory of like a creature that is tiny but could absolutely bite and poison you and send you straight to hell. I don't know, dude. I think cockroaches... Here's the other thing. I genuinely think cockroaches are kind of cute. I'll give you a personal story. I used to play with cockroaches when I was a kid. Not actively, like I didn't seek them out. But my grandma's house, I have a distinct memory of her having like a little bit of a roach problem when I was a kid, because, you know, just poor people things. And I would sit in front of the fireplace and I would just let roaches like run across my little arms. And I would like move them back and forth between my hand, like, oh, look, a roach. And then set them back down. Yeah, how do you like that? Kids do weird shit, man. That sent a shiver down my spine. Look at that little millipede all curled up, all cute. Hissing roaches are moe cute. See, guys? See? Cockroaches are kind of cute. That's all I'm saying. I just think that roaches get a bad rap, and I don't think it's fair. I think they're nature's janitors. They're kind of nice. They're kind of fun. They're kind of cute little guys. And yes, they've got a lot of problems. They've got a lot of like little, they got their own issues. I've even got a cute cockroach in this slideshow, all right? They've got like diseases and shit, and they can bring like filth into your like area if you're not careful. I get it. I understand. I'm not saying you should let cockroaches like share your meals with you. I'm just saying maybe cockroaches can like share your space a little bit. Maybe cockroaches aren't so bad. Maybe cockroaches are to like bad PR what bees are to good PR, which is to say cockroaches have gotten a bad rap for so long for no, you're well, thank you, Sarah, for no reason. Like they're pretty cute, actually. I think I'm gonna say, I personally would say they can live in my garden. The only reason I'm not moving them up is to share a little treat is because they do have the greed spoken of in the Bible, and that is to say if you give them a little treat, they will absolutely come back for more little treats. I'm cool with cockroaches. They did commit original sin, though. That's true. We got a little assassin bug. He's cute. That's the other thing about cockroaches is, yeah, you ain't got to give them a little treat. They'll find it. They'll get it. They'll get one. So it deserves better because you played with it? Yeah, that is how that works, yeah. How cool Amanda is. All right, so. Dr. Eggman-ass centipede. Whoa, Jimbo, hold on. You can't say that about him, even though you're right. Next one. So this is one some of you are going to be unfamiliar with if you weren't raised in an area with these. But for those of you who do know, this one is an interesting one. If you ever have had arachnophobia, this one might fuck with you, but it's not actually very scary or dangerous at all. Fiddlerosa says, what if Kafka cockroach drive mosquitoes to extinction? I had dengue fever 3 times in my lifetime. I don't know what that is, but that sounds awful. That sounds awful. Anyway, think of the soup. Yes, so these things they go by many names. They are legendary. They are, I'm going to say, here, let me sell you on them before you immediately hate them. These are in some places called daddy long legs. That's what I grew up calling them, is a daddy long leg. However, they are also sometimes called harvest men. Some people like they go by many names, right? They're like the fucking like Gandalf the Grey of the bug world. They show up when they arrive precisely when they mean to. They mysteriously appear. They mysteriously disappear. They really don't mean any harm. They're relatively chill. If you have arachnophobia, they might fuck with you a little bit, but they're actually like not at all dangerous. And honestly, not even that spider blueprinted in the grand scheme of things. They are tall, stilt walking, like behemoths of bugs that aren't even really that big. They've just got insanely long legs. They are a little scary to look at up close, I'll be honest. They are a little scary if you get like zoomed in on them. They can look a little bit like a fucked up alien, but what bug doesn't, right? However, they're very charming when they move around. They seem so careful and so like gentle in their way. They can't even really hurt you at all, and they don't even want to try. And they take care of pests. That is one right there, right there. That's a daddy long leg or a harvest man. They take care of pests. They can't hurt you. They don't want to hurt you. And they have some super ridiculously long legs. I like them. I think they're really charming. They give me like the giant like rideable like water walkers, silt walkers from Morrowind. They give me like would be a peaceful mounted creature from some whimsical like Himalayan monk style society from a fantasy world. There's something about them is just so head in the clouds, removed from it all. I like them. I think daddy long legs are really cool. Also, they're called harvestmen. That sounds cool as fuck, man. Personally, they give me adoptable energy, and I mean this in the sense of they feel like adoptable grown men. They feel like motherfuckers who roll into town, and you're like, hey, what's going on? And where have you been? They're like, oh, hither and thither, over and yon, here and there, no problem. And you're like, can I do anything for you? They're like, oh, just a spot of tea, please. They have a spot of tea. They smoke their little pipe or whatever, and then they wander off for like another 15 years, and you don't see them again. And then sometimes they come back. Sometimes they don't, and you're like, damn, that's that mysterious motherfucker. Sometimes you see them on the horizon line, standing tall above the trees, just like scooting along on their little like slow way, carefully picking across the landscape with their long legs. I like them. They're charming. I think they're very adoptable. They're the snuffkin of bugs. Exactly. They're the snuffkin of bugs. I like them. I'm so sorry, gamer, but it's hellfire for me. I work in a building infested with them. They skeeve me out way too much for a higher rank. Nah, Citron, you're gonna come around. Trust me, trust me, trust me, trust me. You think that, but like, trust me, you're gonna come around on them. You're gonna start thinking about what I said. I've already planted the propaganda in your mind, insidious-like. I appreciate the soup, though. They're the kind of guy who would lend you a wedge of cheese and bread as you pass by on your journey. Yeah, they wouldn't even ask for it back. And then they would go behind the house, and you would see like a gnat fly back there, and you'd hear like the most disgusting, crunchy, snarfling fucking sound ever. And they'd come out dabbing a little napkin on their mouth, and they'd be like, "Pardon me." And you'd be like, "What the fuck just happened back there?" They'd be like, "Oh, I just had a friend over for dinner." It'd be funny. I think that's a very adoptable bug. Honestly, I'm gonna move Harvestmen up a bit. I'm gonna say Harvestmen sit around. I'm gonna move this tier around a bit based on my own personal biases. Yeah, I think that's right. They're not the wispy spiders. Not exactly. Look up daddy longlegs. Arcantho, look up daddy longlegs and you'll see what they are. Also, they just strike me as a cryptid. Daddy longlegs is like Slender Man. Like, that's something somebody would name like a fucking SCP, right? They're just really cool. They are to bugs what Mothman is to us, I feel like, or like Bigfoot, or like I said, like Stiltwalkers. They're just cool. They're just guys. They're just kind of drifting around. They're just existing. They're not like scary cryptids, right? They're just like cryptids that are there. All right, next one. We've got the ever humble water bug. So this one's cool. All things move towards it. It is our Lord and Savior, our one and only, the eternal one, the one by which all things are attempting to make it to them. Carcinization is taking all of us, one step at a time. One day we will all return to glorious crab, but until that day, we have to tolerate that there are blessed ones, and then there are us. So Waterbug is, I would say that's a high tier one, just by virtue of having gone where no bug has gone before, right? They're conquering terrains, bugs struggling. Them, crayfish, crawfish, water spiders, fucking little like bubble spiders, and the Stiltwalker like water skaters. All of those like bugs are braving a hostile alien environment like astronauts unto space. And honestly, I can't ask for anything else. They are such heroic creatures, and crabs have done such a good job that evolution has just decided that that's it. That's where we're heading. They do hold raves when evil dies. That's true. That is very ally behavior of them. That is very ally behavior of them. They also are what everybody will one day become. They've kind of just done it right. I'm allergic to them, but I vote that they have the inevitable tier of their own. Oh, give them their own tier. Ooh. I like that. I don't think you're wrong. I don't think you're wrong. They are very tasty too. That's the other thing. Oh, so they're crabs and not just crab-looking bugs? They are that they are, Matthias. They are that they are. Crabs in this case is referring to all aquatic bugs. So crabs, bubble spiders, water striders, fucking water nymphs, water bears, crawdads, crayfish, shrimps. That's all water bugs fall under crabs. Lobsters, Armaldo from Pokemon. I forgot his name. I forgot whatever that is. Water nymph. Tardigrades. Yep. Yeah, they fall under the 6-foot crab. Giant enemy crab. Giant enemy crab, super cool. Love giant enemy crab. Big shout out to my guy. I'm glad he's continuing to get work. That's awesome. That's a really wide net you're casting there. I like your nautical joke. That was really funny. Good job. That's why they call you the Jest. Okay, now, anyway. I'm gonna say, for now, I'm gonna put crabs in ally, but they deserve their own tier. It's just I don't have the room on the screen to give another tier if you guys want to be able to see these. Otherwise, they would just disappear and the ads would take over, and we don't want that. So, crabs go in ally, but they, in their heart of hearts, crabs have their own tier, which is inevitable. Crabs get the inevitable tier. All right. All things will return to crab one day. But for now, crabs are allies. Oh, the next one is near and dear to my heart. The next one is beautiful and wonderful and awesome. And I need like 500 billion, bajillion, quadrillion more of them forever and ever 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 and ever. And I love them. And they're so good. And they've never done anything wrong in their whole life. And they're my beautiful little babies. And you guys got to like them. And you have to be nice to them because I say so. And it's Be Nice to Bugs Day. So I'm loading them up in the Kevin. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you have to tell me. That's an adoptable bug. That's an adoptable bug. That is, in fact, a firefly or a lightning bug, which also, by the way, banger names. They are named after fire and lightning. That's sick. Firefly, lightning bug, whatever you want to call it. They are beautiful and perfect and wonderful, and everything they've ever done has been good in the whole world. You would not believe your eyes if 10 quadrillion fireflies. That also says summer evenings to me. I love a good firefly. They're so cool. They have ascended up into the heavens and they collect the stars, beautiful like motes of pollen onto their thoraxes, and they descend back down that we might be graced with the stars here on the land for just a few short nights. And then when all is said and done, they put the stars back in the heavens where they belong after bringing them close enough to touch for just a one halcyon moment, one perfect pause in the universe as they alight upon your hand and shine forth with celestial grace. And then they're gone. It's awesome. It's good for them. I love fireflies. You don't have fireflies in England? I've heard from some of my foreign associates. I was going to say friends, but I don't have any friends. I've heard from some of my foreign associates that a lot of the people believe fireflies are fake, or that they don't exist, or that they're just like made up for like media or fantasy. But no, they exist. They're cool. Fireflies fucking sick. They are unfortunately going extinct, so this is my chance to say, hey, if you can, please take care of fireflies and their environments, which means like less deforestation. One thing you can do to take care of fireflies actually in your local area is please stop raking your lawns in the fall and wood chipping the leaves or mowing them or whatever it is you're doing to them. Just let the leaves sit. That is where a lot of fireflies put their eggs. If you rake it up and then like wood chipper it, you're often killing them. If you can afford to, let the leaves just sit in your fucking lawn, dude. Just let them chill. It's cool. Leave the leaves. Let the fireflies have a place to lay their babies. And then you get more fireflies next year. They love leaf litter. It's their thing, dude. Yeah. Less light pollution is good too. I want to see fireflies so bad. It's very pretty when you get to see it. It's not like breathtakingly world-changing. Like no one's ever stopped and looked. Well, okay, maybe some people have. Most people don't stop and look at a firefly and they're like, oh, and they have like a fucking like elf in the woods seeing a fucking nature spirit for the first time type of vibe. Which I mean, you might actually. I don't know. I guess I've come close, but like it's just something that like gives you a little like delight, a little charm. It's like the visual equivalent of having a delicious cookie with milk. It's just so good to see them. Something about like witnessing them just puts your mind at ease, man. It puts the world into perspective. It's nice. Yeah. Oh, when they light up a big tree. When I was young, I used to ride around in the back of my dad's truck and I would look at the fireflies or whatever. But there was the occasional time when like he would have to do some midnight business or whatever, or go like, trade with people or make a drop or whatever. And I would ride around the back of his truck and I would lay in the back of the truck and just stare at fireflies underneath like the boughs of big trees in neighborhoods or in like back roads and shit. Man, that was magical. That was cool. Kevin's a bed bug, but they're not real. Fairy god wizard. But I mean, you're already halfway there because you're like a fairy god wizard, which is not real. So you got it. Your uncle was a dealer? First of all, my dad. Second of all, duh. More of a middleman. But anyway, moving on. Okay, so next one. Perish in hellfire. Fuck you, computer bugs. I hate you. I hate you. Just like you hate me. Ah! I hate them. I hate them. I can't stand the ghost in the machine. Bugs are good. Ghosts are bad. That's where the line is. Fuck off, Shinri. I don't care. I'll fucking say it. Bug good, ghost bad. No more ghost in the machine. Bad. Bad. You shouldn't be called a bug. You're wrong. You're wrong and you're bad. Dipper Dawn, thank you for 29 months. Would you ever rate movies about bugs? Fireflies makes you think of Ray and how movies that make you empathize with bugs can help conservation efforts. I would do that. That sounds cute. Thanks for 29 months. That sounds fun. I've never heard of that movie, though. But what if feature? No. No. Caputa, stop. Caputa, just behave. Computers fucking hate me, dude. The amount of I'm not even kidding. I wish I could tell you this. Oh, my God. I wish I could. Oh, my God. Okay, I wish I could tell you this was a joke, but this is not a joke. The amount of times, I've already told this story before, and I'll tell you an example of how frequently this happens to me, how often this happens to me. The amount of times in my life I have heard, I've never seen that before, from fucking actual like computer scientists about things that happen to me, like insane shit, right? Insane shit. My last roommate was a software developer. That's all he does. And like a self-made electrician slash software engineer slash computer builder slash he makes his own fucking LAN cables and is like works on his own fucking stupid computer chips at home. He's a freak, right? And at least half a dozen, maybe a dozen times, things have happened with my computer that he's like, huh, that doesn't make any sense. I've never seen that before. And he'll spend days trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, right? I am. Just 2 days ago. Wait, maybe it's 3 days ago now. You remember that stream? The peak stream we did? Where we PvP'd? Do you remember that? Huh? I did a little onboarding with the fucking devs of Interplay, the program we used. Guess what? It took like an hour and a half. It was supposed to be 15, 20 minutes because I had a problem they had never seen before. He had to go get one of his lead programmers from the other room and bring him into the fucking call. He's like, I'm standing by my lead dev right now. Can you try to recreate what just happened? I was like, sure, man. And he's like, this doesn't make any sense. And we had to sit there for like an hour more figuring out what the fuck happened before I could get things working. That's the kind of fucking bugs I'm dealing with. In the Ghost of the Machine has the world's most insane crush on me or something. That motherfucker is as like, what's the word for like crazy anime love, like the kind where they want to kill you, whatever. They've got that going on. All right, yandere. The Ghost of the Machine is yandere for me to a degree that is unbelievable. That motherfucker wants me dead in the ground, but they're also obsessed with me. They base their life around me. Motherfucker is just constant. Back up. Back up. Your natural -1 luck is showing. Thanks. Anyway, I hate the bugs in the machine. Can't stand them. Worst type of bug. Perish in hellfire. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you forever. You don't deserve to exist. Go away. Things should just work. They should just work. This is me, Incredible's dad, pointing at the fucking desk. Fucking, computers are computers, and they should just work. Computer, stop fucking up. How do we scare the yandere bug in the machine? I have no idea. I've spent my life trying to figure it out. I just try to pretend I don't give a shit anymore. And at some point, I just stopped caring. I kind of laugh when something goes wrong. I'm like, whatever, man. At this point, bad luck has become such a big part of my identity that I chuckle like it's a fucking like whimsical cartoon character from Looney Tunes or some shit. It feels like every time something bad happens, the screen like plugs in on me with like the black, the spherical outline, and I just shrug like a snarflake. That's my luck. Like, I'm just like, ha, whatever, man. Anyway, Chikai, thank you for 13 months. That's tasty. Are you guys being nice to bugs today? Don't you head pat me. Don't you head pat me when I'm on a tear. That beetle's so cool! God, beetle's so cool, dude. I love bug. All right, so here we go. Let's load it up in the Kevin. This unassuming bastard? Insane. That's the trusty patches of bugs. That's like, this motherfucker does it for love of the game. This guy, that's the Bug Kingdom's #1 op. He's got a problem. And his problem is that he loves to kill. Oh boy, here I go killing again. I love dragonflies, and they are aptly named. They're aptly named because they are dragons to the bug world. They are dangerous, like ultra predators who are built to kill, and that is all they are built to do. They are built to kill, and that is it. They just want you dead. Here's a fun fact about dragonflies you might not know. Dragonflies have backwards arms. They can't walk. They fly and they kill. Dragonflies are such like hyper-evolved predators for flying that their arms are backwards for grabbing things in midair like a fucking fighter jet. They are so good at flying that they can at full speed snatch a bug, eat it, and then drop it. They can land, they cannot walk because their arms are backwards. They are only made to grab you and eat you. That's fucking sick, man. They have a 95% hunting success rate. Their babies are little xenomorphs. They are Giga Chads. You're right, Josh Riley. Dragonflies are cool as hell. Kadawada, thank you for being an asshole. And Josh, thank you for 4 months. Dragonflies are so fucking insanely awesome. They are like, look at this guy. Look at him. Look at how cute he is. But they're so deadly. It's bonkers. They can literally fly like parallel. They don't even have to go straight forward. They're hyper evolved to be the most dangerous aerial predator in the bug kingdom. They're fucking insanely cool, dude. Like, if you hold on, let me see if I can. I'm gonna go back on the slideshow to the dragonfly to show you their legs. That'll like prove my point. All right, look at that. I'm pausing it for a sec. Oh, sorry. Hold on. I forgot what order I put these in, so one sec. Almost. A lot of cool bugs. All right, check it out. See their legs? They're backwards. They're bent the wrong way because they only want to grab you and eat you. Other than landing, they have no reason to have working legs other than holding you and landing. That's it. That's all they do. That's why their legs are like that. They are so fucking hyper evolved. It's sick as hell. Also, their eyes are so cool. They're built like flight goggles. They're made to fight and make babies. That's their whole jam. Also, they fuck mosquitoes up, and that's awesome. I think dragonflies, I wouldn't adopt one. I think they're too wild. They're too free. They're too fucking sick for that. They're such a cool creature, such a cool predator. We should get a dragonfly legendary bug dragon type. I think dragonflies are allies. They're here to help us. They're too cool to be adopted. I don't need to give them a little treat. They got that covered. They are their sole breadwinner. They know what's up. They can definitely live in the garden, but I'm putting them in ally, I think. Dragonfly's sick. Dragonflies have backwards arms for holding you. Tucks hair behind the ear. What about Flygon? Flygon is not dragon type because Game Freak hates cool bugs. Flygon is not bug type because Game Freak hates cool bugs. My bad. Game Freak has a hate boner for bug. And Yanmega is pretty cool, don't get me wrong, but not quite what I'm thinking. I want like a legendary bug. Scoliped's cool as fuck. All right. Next, we know dragonflies are cool. Moving on. These guys I have a personal relationship with. So this is not my best art, but you know what? I was drawing for like fucking 8 hours and tired and on no sleep, so leave me alone. So grasshoppers. Grasshoppers are not a Katie did. Not this one. No. Grasshoppers are... I like grasshoppers. I think they're charming. I think they're cool. I think they're fun. I think they're really interesting. My only problem with grasshoppers isn't even their fault. It's just I go back to the bug wars when I think about them, right? Like, I see a grasshopper and I'm back in the trenches. Like, I immediately black out a little bit. I hear that fucking like flashbang sound that's always in media, that sound as like the screen whites out. Pharaoh Corvus, thank you for 25 months. Because when I was a kid, I used to collect grasshoppers and throw them into the web of a spider that lived nearby my window. I would throw them in the garden spider's web. And I just remember countless death. That's all I remember is the mountain of bodies as I fed this garden spider grasshoppers all summer. Yeah. Bro, why? I don't know. I think at the time I had pretty acute arachnophobia, but I think I had a like sick fascination with the spider. And it was getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. It was actually a really pretty garden spider, but I did not think it was pretty. It just scared the shit out of me. But for some reason, I just got it in my head that I needed to feed it. So I collected grasshoppers and I would throw them in its web. And I started with little ones. And then as the spider got bigger, I started getting really chunky grasshoppers, like really big grasshoppers. Listen, when you're a bored kid in the country, I don't know. You just do stuff. You fed it so it didn't feast upon your flesh? I really don't know why I was feeding it. I just did. I fed it a lot of grasshoppers. Bro was worshiping the spider subconsciously. Well, that spider did not have a good end, sadly. It wrote my mother's name, which is not a very common name at all, in its web, and that freaked my mom out, and then she demanded that I had to kill it. So, bummer! Yeah. You make me sick, Crimzon Rulez. Yeah, that's fair. I don't blame you. I understand. Did it write Charlotte? It was not Charlotte. It's a less common name than that. Trust me. It is a name I have literally never heard anywhere but my mother. I'll say that. It is a name I have not once heard in my life other than my mom. So it was weird, for sure. It gained too much power. So grasshoppers are actually considered to be signs of good luck, and now I understand so much about your luck situation. Oh, I see. I cursed myself eternally by helping that spider. How did it write a name? I don't know. It's a very, I mean, like, English letters are very, like, geometric, so they can be in a lot of straight lines, and it is a name that can be written with a lot of straight lines. And I'm not going to say it was, like, the prettiest thing in the world, like, it didn't write in fucking cursive or anything, but, like, it was there. It was there, and it was weird. It was a weird happenstance, a weird coincidence. Anyway, unfortunately, that spider did die, and it was not cool. It was not a good way to go. Was it too obvious to mistake? Probably. It was actually my stepdad who noticed it, I think. And then he got excited about it and went to tell my mom. And she got the jeebies about it and got weirded out and said I had to take care of the spider. How big was it? I mean, pretty big. Like, bigger than a quarter, I guess. I don't know. No, I'm being for real. It really wrote her name. I'm not kidding, Lily. It was weird. It was weird. This is almost a plot of Babe. Oh, there you go. It was a pretty big spider. It was a pretty big spider by the end of it, yeah. It was so excited to be able to write, and you killed it! Turns out it was, anyway, I'm not going to tell that story again. It's a sad story. It was not, it was a traumatizing event for everybody involved. For me, my friend that actually killed it, for the kids watching nearby, not great. Yes, Rhoda, that is the same. Okay, I'll tell you the story, but I'll make it quick and I won't go into too much detail because the detail that is traumatizing is the imagery. But anyway, a couple neighborhood kids were around because they were always hanging around our house or whatever. And, you know, when you live in a trailer park, you live with all the other kids basically, and you're all like constantly around each other. And one of the kids got it in his head he'd take care of it because I didn't want to pick it up because it was gross and big and I didn't want to kill it because I had been feeding the spider and become a little bit attached to it. So another kid's like, I'll take care of it. So he put it in a lunchbox and put a bunch of like fucking lighter fluid on it and lit the spider on fire, which is fucked up. It's fucked up. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It was fucked up. Anyway, the top of the lunchbox, being cheap plastic, melted. The spider came out. The other kid stepped on it, right? Stepped on it. And a bunch of flaming baby spiders came rushing out and up his legs, and he smelt a burnt leg hair for so long, and he freaked the fuck out. I'm pretty sure that dude's still afraid of spiders. I don't know that dude anymore, but he was scared of shit of spiders for a long time, and most of us were, because a bunch of flaming baby spiders went running up this guy's leg, which deserved. But also, wow, that was weird. Should not have messed with the literate web. Yeah. Karma, that's what he gets, low-key. True. Yeah. I think it put a curse on you all. Probably. Hey, listen, in my defense, Spider, I tried to be nice to you. You should talk to an Etsy witch or something. I ain't talking to no Etsy witch. Why? So they can AI generate me a fucking curse? Have I read Charlotte's Web? No, I watched the movie, though. Maybe it was a mom and its name was the same as your mom's. Don't make me feel worse for this spider than I already did. I tried to take care of that spider. Well, the most fucked up part is I think, and in some part of my brain, I was trying to subconsciously care for it. Like, the reason I was feeding it is because I was trying to overcome my fear or develop empathy for things I feared. I think there was a part of me that was trying to, like, feed it to get past my fear of it. That sucks, Inkara. I'm sorry. What's with parents and killing your pet spiders? What's that about? Okay, so the next one is... Oh, wait, I never said grasshoppers. Anyway, I have personal history with grasshoppers. I feel bad. I'd give them a little treat. I feel bad for what I've done to grasshoppers. I'm sure I go down in that, like, particular trailer park's history amongst all grasshoppers as the great taker or something. Like, I'm the claw that comes down, catches you, and throws you into the, like, ultimate predator's, like, death cave. I throw you into a saw trap. So that's fucked up. I feel bad. My bad, dude. I'd give him a little treat. I should give him a little treat, and the treat is grasshoppers. So true. Okay, so we're back in the Kevin tier. We got another one. We got another one for the home team. The flea. So this is the flea. The humble flea. Burn, burn, hellfire, they make my pet sad. Burn, 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 burn. Perish, diseases, burn, perish, hellfire. Strong opinions on these fleas, I see. Wait! Put my arms out. This is me throwing my arms out. Wait! Wait! I know you hate fleas. Wait! Wait! Fleas have wronged us. I know. I know. They've attacked our pets. They've hurt our loved ones. They've spread incurable diseases. They bite you. They invade your homes. But wait. Wait. No, actually, that's all of it. Fuck them. Perish in fire. Fleas suck, man. Fucking hate fleas. The only good part about fleas is that in a sick way, much like the smell of like dust or like fucking, I don't know, gasoline, it reminds me of being a kid. That's the only good thing about fleas, is that my house was constantly covered in fleas as a kid because we had like fucking Great Danes and they were constantly outdoors and we couldn't afford to always give them like the fucking amount of medication they needed to avoid the fleas or the collars or whatever. It didn't always work. So it was just always fleas. I was always flicking a fucking flea off me when I was sitting on the couch with like 57 box fans in the window trying to stay cool. As always fleas. All I remember from like my youth is sitting there watching fucking PBS with fleas. Ugh. Flea, great drummer and bassist. Who? Beastie Gimmick? Also, thanks for the soup. Great Danes in a trailer? Girl, I didn't always live in a trailer. Sometimes I lived in rundown houses without floorboards. But yes, we had Great Danes in trailers too, when we were in trailers. But man, I just remember distinctly chilling there, and you know, occasionally a fucking flea would jump on you, and you'd flick it off, or you'd kill it, or whatever, which I got really good at killing fleas, which actually, thinking about it, man, I was a little freak about killing fleas. I had no empathy for fleas, which is kind of crazy looking back on it. I had a lot of empathy for a lot of things, but I killed fleas without a second thought. Like, I'd toss them in the fucking sink, I'd throw them in the toilet. I remember I used to, like, this is fucked, but this is the truth. I used to cut fleas' fucking heads off. Like, if I caught a flea, I would cut its head off. I beheaded it like a feudal lord. Did you know you could drown fleas in alcohol? You could probably drown most insects in alcohol. The fleatine? That's pretty funny. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Maven, thank you for the soup, by the way. Break out the fleatine! Damn, if I could think of a few people who I could think of a few people in power who I would pinch them between my nails and slice their head off. I'll give them the fleatine. But yeah, I used to catch those little fuckers. If I caught them on me, dude, I'd get them in my one hand, and then I'd like put my nail on either side of their little head and just shing. Bye, fleatine. Bye. That was it. Imagine a screaming flea to the fleatine. That's so funny, dude. I didn't like make them suffer. Like, I wasn't like picking legs off fucking fleas or anything. I just cut their heads off. Next bug. Ladybug. Or is it a ladybug? There's two different types that look very similar. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hold on. What if it's not a ladybug? Ladybugs are allies. Invasive fake ladybug? Perhaps. Might be a lady beetle. I also, you know, now that I think about it, I have a lot of kid stories about bugs. I didn't realize how much bugs were a big part of my life as a kid, or at least a lot of my like traumatic experiences. You guys want to hear my story about ladybugs? I'll tell you anyway. I don't care. We're on the bug tier list, and it's time. I guess I'm just recounting children's stories about bugs at this point. I'll give you one. My main memory of ladybugs, besides letting them crawl on me and just staring at them, because I thought they were pretty cute, and I liked how shiny and round their shells were, is one time, and this feels like a fever dream, but it happened, I'm pretty sure. One time, when traveling with my mother for less than good reasons, we had to stop off at a motel, and it was really run down and really shitty. And I remember distinctly opening up the room that we had gotten and flicking on the lights and thinking it was weird that, sorry, before I flicked on the lights, I thought it was weird because it looked like the roof was moving or the ceiling was moving, and I was just kind of staring at it for a minute. And then I turned on the lights, and it turned out the entire ceiling was made of ladybugs. It was just all ladybugs. And when I flicked on the light, of course, they panicked and started really moving around. And I was like, oh, shit! That is my main memory of ladybugs. But anyway, yeah. pretty interesting. I don't dislike them. I think they're cool or whatever. They can live in the garden. I don't have any strong feelings one way or the other about ladybugs, other than that weird, like, sort of, I don't know, fever dream experience. It was weird. It was weird. LMAO. Anyway, arson? No, they're fine. They can live in the garden. I also have a soft spot for them because they're grounded. I like ladybugs. I think they're cool. I think they're charming in their own way. They can live in the garden. They're fine. Though I do think they might attack plants. I don't know. It might be bad for your garden, but I don't care. I heard myths about ladybugs being good luck if they landed on you. Well, then I wish ladybugs gave me good luck, because apparently my crimes against grasshopper kind have given me horrible luck. Oh, they eat the bugs and attack the plants. All right, ladybugs. That's ally behavior. Wait a minute. That's pretty good. I got to get moving on these, but that's pretty good. I'm still going to say live in the garden. I'm going to put it at the top of the garden tier. Top of the garden tier. Top of the garden tier. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. I think that's pretty solid. Ladybug, top of the garden tier for you. Top of the morning to you. My delirium's getting the better of me, brother. Okay, I got to keep moving because I'm dying. Ally, listen. You guys want to do ally? I could do ally. I could see that. Ladybugs deserve it. They protect our gardens. All right, ladybugs, you got it. 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 All right, what do we got next? Boop. It's a little leaf bug, or katydid. Both are similar. I like them. I think they're charming. They're expert disguise artists. They're very stealthy. They're very good at blending into the environment. Mouse Rangers, tell your brother to put peppermint oil along the windowsill. They'll stop. So cute, so precious little guys. Yeah! I don't know. I think they're charming. I like them. I don't have any. I don't feel strongly about them, either negative or positive. Like, I'm not like incredibly like in love with them or anything, and I'm not. I'm certainly not against them. I just think they're charming from a distance. I will say it can be a little jarring if one like lands on you, but they're pretty cool. I like them. I like seeing katydids eat apples. What? I want to see a katydid eat an apple. Hold on, I'm gonna look that up. Katydid eat apple. Oh, that is cute. Also, Tiffy, thank you for the soup. Ladybugs, rise up. I'm cool with ladybugs, man. But as far as katydids and leaf bugs go, I'm putting them in the same tier. I'm putting them in the same category. They go together into this branch. I'm gonna say let's go ahead and just say you can live in the garden. I don't feel strongly about you. You know what, Kevin? Kevin, garden, Kevin, garden, Kevin, garden, Kevin, garden. I feel like Kevin. Top of Kevin, you think? I could see top of Kevin. You garden? There's a lot of garden truthers out here. But here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Bear with me. How do we know that leaf bugs and katydids aren't so good at disguising themselves that they themselves have disguised themselves from reality? Maybe, much like bed bugs, they have become so in tune with the mask they wear that they are myth and legend now. Maybe they are just leaves deep down. Maybe they're not real. They're so disguised. They've become unreal. I need more info. What's Kevin? Oh, Kevin's the tier above stay off my lawn, and below you can live in the garden. A leaf that becomes a bug. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to say top of Kevin for leaf bugs. Top of Kevin. Maybe they're spies? No, that's birds, which are fake. All right, the next one's a big one, fan favorite. Everybody's gonna love this one. Everybody's super cool with this one. Everybody's like a big fan of this one. I think this is like top 10 bugs for most people. I'm gonna load it up in the Kevin real quick, and we'll decide where to go from there. Here we are, baby. So let me just have a little sip of my stamina potion while we look at this. That's right, baby. It's leeches. So, thoughts? Adoptable. Okay, Ronald Reagan hater 69. That's interesting. Everybody shut the fuck up. Everybody stop. You're talking shit on a doctor. That's a motherfucking doctor you're talking about, okay? Back up. He has a PhD. I'll be honest, leeches I find gross. I think they're nasty. I think they're kind of yucky. I think they are parasites, and in a very bad way, honestly. I don't think they do much for the environments that they're in, for the most part. I could be wrong about that. I would typically, I would be tempted to put leech and perish in hellfire, but they have one saving grace. And it is unfortunately a saving grace that is entirely by their tertiary nature of being related to plague doctors. They are saved by proximity to something significantly cooler than they are. Leeches being associated with plague doctors takes them from perish to just stay the fuck away from me. That's it. That's where leeches are. I associate them with plague doctors, so they get to be and stay the fuck off my lawn. That's as good as they're gonna get. You're welcome, leeches. I was gonna put you in perish and hellfire, but now you get to live. Barely. Shiorin! Navaleets, welcome in, gamers. Thank you for the raid. My name is Crimzon Rulez. I'm Elysium's greatest monster hunter, the Midwest fantasy VTuber, and your least favorite idol. And today I'm doing the big old bugs tier list. I'm ranking every single bug in the universe, all 1 billion of them. So far, we're doing pretty good. We've gotten through a lot of them. I hand drew all of these beautiful little buggy bastards for you. You're welcome. I only got like 2 hours of sleep because of it. How did your stream go? What'd you get up to? Just keep in mind that this is an objective tier list. Once this is done, many new laws are going to be written into place around how we behave about these bugs. So just, try to make come to terms with that while you can. Sleep is for the weak. I agree. That's why I don't sleep. I only blink. Centipedes better be S tier. Yeah, I put them up an ally because I believe centipedes are an ally. I believe centipedes are allies. They've never walked straight in their whole lives. They wiggle waggle all over the place. They're full of whimsy. They whimsy max through their whole lives, and I love those little fucks. Hey, thank you for the 5 gifted chips, Falcona. Thank you, Chewy Nubbins, for the chips. We watched Shiori and Flayon. Oh, what were they playing? What were you guys playing today? Novel Eats. I thought it was Novel Lights. Novel Eats? I thought it was Novel Light. No, I'm just kidding. Space bears? Oh, like the little, not tardigrades, little like water aphids or whatever they're called, right? He said the thing. I'm kidding. Stop. Back up. Listen, I'm moving on to the next bug, but that sounds banger. What were they playing? Let's see. They were playing Dark Pictures Anthology. Sorry, I was looking at that beautiful, beautiful Harvest Man / Daddy Longlegs. That's the one that's like a horror movie with quick time events, right? Oh, that one always seemed pretty scary, dude. But kind of cool in its own way. I think I watched a playthrough of one of those. I don't remember which one it was. It might have had like a fucking werewolf in it or something. I don't know. Anyway. All right, we're unloading another one up into the Kevin. This is isopods and or roly-polies, as they are colloquially. You know what? Fuck it. I don't care. I slept for like an hour. Leave me alone. I'm going to say it however I want to say it. Colloquially. Fuck me. All right, I don't care anymore. Ugh. Damn it, stupid. Ruze, get it together. You gotta show, you're a streamer. You gotta be cool. What I meant was colloquially. Fuck. Colloquially. Yes! Ha-ha! Colloquially known as roly-polies. They're very cute. If you have problems with them, I've got problems with you. Nothing is as charming as lifting a little stick or a log off the ground, and one of these little guys is down there just kind of vibing, being, just doing their own thing. They ain't doing nothing wrong. These guys are literally the little, like, fucking fat Chungus Chud sons from StarCraft. You know, the Protoss ones? They, like, shoot little beetles out or whatever. They, like, slug along. That's these guys. They literally fucking... We require additional Vespene gas. That's them. They're cool, man. Yeah, the Reavers. Yeah. My life for ire looking ass. They're kind of annoying and grounded. I don't think they're annoying. I think they're fun. It's fun to parry them when they roll at you. I don't know, man. I like them. I think they're charming. I would argue, personally, either adopt or ally on this one for certain because they're so cute. And they've never done anything wrong in their lives. Plus, they're like little water bugs that got out of the water, and I think that's funny. You know, like kind of like how spiders aren't supposed to be in water, but then you got the diving bell spiders. These guys are the other way around, where it's like, you should be in water, bud. And he's like, no. Easy adopt, I agree. I agree. Easy adopt. I like them. That's another really good entry point to bugs for people who are like scared of bugs. Start with roly-polies, man. Roll them up in a little ball, put them in their hand, and then like wait for them to unfurl. People will come around to them real quick. That's my beautiful Chud son. I call him Chudley. Yeah, you get it, Lasifo. You get it. Oh, bombardier beetles are very cool. That's true. Roll them up, put them in your pocket. Adopted. Did you guys know that isopods are free? Yeah, you can just go outside, pick up a stick. You can probably pick one of them up right now. They're free. They're like ducks or cats or unattended candy bars. You can just take them. They're yours. That's yours. It's like the identity of a person you don't like. You can just have it. That's yours. That's why they call me Crimzon Rulez. Roly-poly distribution. Like unattended children. No, you cannot take unattended children. Don't do that. What do isopods eat? Detritus, probably. And other small bugs, I would assume. I could be wrong, though. Yeah. All right, next up, we've got... Okay, that's not my best art. I'll be honest with you. Not my best art, but I was tired. Leave me alone. We got moths. I know everybody likes moths. I know, they're super cool. Blah, 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 blah. Moonlit butterfly, whatever. I know. Moths are cool. I get it. Moths are very cute. I want to raise my own colony of them so bad. All the different colors make me happy. You should. And then take pictures. And then tag me in it so I can see them. Here's the thing with moths, man. I didn't mean to do that, but I did. Here's the things with Mothman. Moths! I like moths, but I kind of see them the same way I see bees, where they get really, 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 really good PR, and it kind of overshadows every other bug. But... I do think they get picked back up by Mothman because that's my husband. Don't you go making Critter Kitchen Mothman write a sad poem. I'm thinking about it. Man, I can't really slander moths. I can't. They're cool. The only thing that's like weird about moths is that they're like... my main problem with moths is that they make their fetish everybody else's problem. That's my big problem with moths, is that they make their fetish everybody else's problem. They're cool. They're awesome. I don't care that they're like super popular. I don't care that they have great PR. I just don't like that they're such freaks, like publicly. You know what I mean? What do you mean what? What do you mean what? Moths are masochists. They're literally born without a mouth to eat. They just exist and then fucking die. That's their whole thing. That's literally their whole thing. Like, oh, I love suffering. Oh, don't make me starve to death. Oh no. That's moths, dude. They're freaks. All of them. Little freaks. They're masochists. And that's fine. You can do that, but do it in your own space, man. That's good. Oh my God. Kink shamer Crimzon Rulez back at it again. My kink is shaming kinks. They've got a starvation kink? Yep. That's moths, man. Don't they eat clothes? Some of them. God forbid a bug has hobbies. I don't know much about bugs. I'm usually jumpy around them, but you speak on them so endearingly that I want to learn more. Francesca, you've come to the right place. I will tell you about bugs and how cute they are. Bugs are beautiful, wonderful little guys. And I'm not going to pretend I don't get freaked out by bugs occasionally, man. A bug will give you, a bug will jump scare your ass, but they are awesome. Bugs are cool as hell. I love bugs. You should play Grounded if you want to get used to bugs. Though I will say the spiders, whoo, sheesh. I was pretty past my arachnophobia by the time I played Grounded, and those spiders still freak me the fuck out. I drew a lot of bugs, Sue. I'm working on it, though. As long as bugs don't crawl or fly on me. Exactly, Danielle. All right, so here's where it's at. I think moths... I think moths go in, I would share a little treat. Only because my kink is being an asshole. And they can't eat it. That's funny. I have no moth and I must scream. That's good. That's good. I love that. I love that. Nah, moths are cool. Moths are alright. I think they're cool. I think they're very beautiful. I think they're very charming. I think that they are also a good entry point into bugs. Look at that moth right there on that stick. You see how fuzzy it is? How like furry and charming it is, and it's like a little beautiful antenna with like the feather duster antennas. I'm not kidding. I think moths are one of the best entry points into like dealing with bugs. Because, like, look at this little guy. You can't really be afraid of that. He's just too charming. Like, look at his wings. Look at his feathery little body, his feathery little legs. He literally has, like, feather antenna. Come on. Moths are cute. It's hard to not like moths. Moths are like butterflies if butterflies did their eyelashes, right? Moths are butterflies with falsies. They don't carry the same, like... moths are butterflies, but grown up. So you've got butterflies, and that's, like, the garish, like... super bright like face paint palette of like a kid who just figured out what makeup is, and that's cool and it's awesome or whatever, and they're like expressing themselves and showing off and being cool or whatever. It's loud, it's in your face, it's very flashy. Moths are very much like I'm just gonna go for an understated look, but I'm gonna have the most extra fucking eyelashes you've ever seen in your life, and I'm gonna put that winged eyeliner on. Trust. Am I saying moths are hags? I'm saying moths have an understated beauty that they like don't like have to like be super flashy and bright about, but they're just confident that they're beautiful with that sort of understated like look. Now, I'm not saying it's like no makeup. You know, moths be wearing that fucking makeup. They're not like, oh, I look natural. That's not what moths are doing. They're extra in an understated way, and I respect that. Moths are hags. Okay, sure, whatever. I'll put moths in adoptable bug, but only because I need a moth to adopt me. Any moth hags out there looking for a Crimzon Rulez? Rose moths refute that. Fair. Very fair. Moths have eyelash extensions. That's funny, man. Okay, well, anyway. Next bug. Fucking, I'm not even loading you in the cannon. Fuck you. He's not going in the Kevin. That's a mosquito. Perish in hellfire. Fuck mosquitoes, man. I hate them. I didn't even have strong opinions about mosquitoes, right? Up until Grounded, I was like, yeah, mosquitoes, they're annoying, whatever, I don't like them, I don't care, whatever, man, I don't care. Like, they suck blood, they're annoying, not a big deal. Grounded made me hate mosquitoes. I spent weeks building my castle in the swamp called Bloodcat Keep in Grounded, and I was raided nigh on every fucking hour by unstoppable flying pricks who made it their business to attack my buildings over and over in high places that was impossible to repair, and I had to fucking climb all over my scaffolding and fight them, and it was a fucking nightmare, dude. I swear to God, I will find whatever eldritch deity spawned these disgusting creatures and like, I will kill that deity. I will slay gods. I will slay whatever devilish fucking vampiric entity birthed the first mosquitoes from its undulating pustule sacs to get revenge on the bastard mosquitoes that attacked me and Grounded. I've had enough. Mosquitoes are pollinators? I don't give a shit. I'll take double duty on pollinating to get rid of mosquitoes. I don't like them. We got better pollinators, exactly. What's the first Hellfire bug? Tetris? Computer bugs. It pissed me off, and they're always targeting me. I don't know what their deal is. Isn't there some crazy figure that they're like the deadliest animal in Africa? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, produce more bees, reduce mosquitoes. Whoever's in control of tech tree on Earth right now, I need you to start working on, like, getting your fucking shit together. Because right now, mosquitoes, out of control. I don't give a shit if they're, like, helpful to pollination. You need to double up on bees, double up on butterflies. Let's get those environments back in. Make sure we save their, like, you know, little homes or whatever. We got to get more fireflies going. Lower the mosquito count. I don't care what it takes. Yeah, rebalance this shit. Anyway, that's my take on mosquitoes. I hate those bastards. Thanks. Suizu? I made them myself. When are we getting the Earth 2.0 patch? Uh-oh. Next. Oh. Listen, this one's not great. I redrew this one so many times. I spent the most time on this one. I could not figure out how to make a spider cute. I was trying my best, dude. I was trying to do a little jumping spider leaping at you, but it just didn't quite hit right. And then I made his eyes really bubbly and big, and I was just like, it's just not hitting right, dude. It's not hitting right. Anyway, spiders, listen, they can live in the garden. I'll be real. I love spiders. I think they're cool. I had, and still to a degree have, acute arachnophobia. It was like my biggest fear growing up with spiders. And then behind that was being alone, being in the dark, deep water, heights, cliffs, being alone in a building specifically, talking to people, public speaking, tornadoes. I'm just kidding. Spiders, I am low-key kind of obsessed with and afraid of at the same time. I don't know why, but in any game where there's the ability to tame or interact with or befriend or weaponize spiders, for some reason I become obsessed with it, despite my fear of spiders. I don't know if there's this subconscious need to like conquer my fear by utilizing it as a tool, or if somewhere along the line my fear turned into fascination because I like I see spiders as like the ultimate predator, like better than basically everything else on the planet. They've adapted to every environment. They have tools that no other creature on the planet can use or has ever evolved or utilized. They have like an insane degree of like, I don't know. They're really, really, really fascinating, cool creatures. And I'm like setting aside the goose and the gas for a second to talk about them, but I still fear them. I don't want them near me. If I see one in my home, I'm like, I need to get this out of my house. I need to put this in a cup and put it outside. I mean, a pigeon could eat a spider. Sure, Katzbach, but if a spider was as big as a pigeon, that pigeon's dead. Spiders, pound for pound, like scope for scope, are the ultimate predators. Unless there's a hyper-specialized creature made to kill spiders, like parasitoid wasps, for example, spiders will almost always win. There's the Goliath bird-eating spider, which does catch and eat spiders. Birds. What wasps? So, Allie, there's a type of parasitoid wasp, I believe, called a hawk moth, I want to say, that hunts desert spiders, tarantulas specifically, and what it will do is either go into their nests or kill them, or, like, paralyze them. So what it does, it flies down, it stings them with a paralytic venom, and then it puts them in a hole, basically. It buries them either in their own holes, sometimes in their own nests, or under the sand. And it will inject its eggs into them, like xenomorph style. And then the spider is unable to move as the eggs gestate and then hatch and then eat the spider from the inside out. It's pretty easy, evil. Yeah, tarantula hawks are scary, scary little bugs. There's a lot of parasitoid wasps that target spiders, yeah. Well, there you go. Anyway, spiders are cool. I like spiders. I don't want them in my home. I've tried to be as tolerant of spiders as I can be, and I typically am. I will deal with like little water spiders, you know what I mean? Like the really thin, wispy ones with like the really long legs that have like the like mosquito-looking like long butt for some reason. I deal with them because they can deal with gnats and shit in your bathroom, and they're never gonna hurt anything. And honestly, I don't think that they're scary. Something about them just doesn't even read as spider to me. It just seems like a wingless mosquito almost. But like, if I see a fucking wolf spider or a really spindly one, like a black widow or whatever, I'm like, you gotta leave. You can't be in here. I'm sorry. Also, I'm never quick enough to tell the difference between a wolf spider and a brown recluse, and I don't want to take that risk, dude. Brown recluse spiders are they might actually be the only creature on the planet that have necrotic venom. What do I mean when I say necrotic venom? I mean, they literally cause your body to rot. It's not like regular poison. It rots you. When it bites you, your cells start destroying themselves as if you're being broken down because you died. Like, I have an uncle who has a crater in his stomach, like a big pit in his skin, because he got bit by a brown recluse, and it rotted a hole in his like stomach that had to heal back up. Brown recluses are fucked up, man.
Tarantula, I am Hawkmoth. No longer will you have your 8 legs creepily walking everywhere. You will now be known as my personal dinner. All you have to do is retrieve the ladybug and cat miraculous.
Miraculous ladybug! Velocipablo, thank you for 20 months. Velocipaster here again. Parasitoid wasps are actually really amazing. And there are other wasps that target other insects, so sometimes the bug will survive their wasp because 2D wasp. Aw, doubled up on. The Fer-de-Lance pit viper also has necrotic venom. Oh, there you go. Now I know why you named Caspian Recluse. Now you know. Oh yeah, brown recluse is way worse than a black widow. Black widow's so scary. Don't get me wrong. That sucks. That's not good. But okay, next. Why do you do a weird Hawkmoth voice? How dare you say that? I don't know. I haven't watched that show in a billion years. That's why. I don't remember what that dude sounds like. You know what? How dare you question me? Fuck it. This next one goes in Perish in Hellfire. Fucking Ruzeters. Fuck those guys. Don't you ever question me. Perish in hellfire. Spiders also spec out. Some varieties of orb weaver have scorpion tails, and the pseudoscorpions have scorpion pincher claws, but they're still spiders. Yeah, dude, spiders are... Okay, I'm going to talk about spiders for like just a second longer. Hold on. Listen, spiders can do anything. That's what's cool about spiders, is not only are they like so cool and so specialized and so interesting, they've adapted so many hunting strategies in so many different areas. It's actually... There's spiders that can live underwater. Did you guys know that? There are spiders that put little oxygen bubbles, like little aeronauts, like astronauts, over their head and go underwater. Right? They live in little bubbles. There's spiders that form nets out of their webs and just drop them on passerbys like a fucking Scooby-Doo trap. There are spiders that form traps that launch other bugs into their webs. There are spiders that live in like nests underground that then build a trapdoor of earth over the top of their nest to jump out like a Dungeons and Dragons sprung, triggered like pressure plate trap to grab bugs and drag them underground. They flip up a dirt lid, come out and grab you like a fucking punchline in a very fast-paced YouTube slot video to yank you under the ground like a jump scare. There's so many types of fucking spiders, it's crazy, dude. There's jumping spiders. There's spiders that can form their webs so they glide on the air. They just, that's it. When they're born, they make little webs and get blown away by the wind. Spiders are crazy, man. There are spiders that keep frogs as pets. They don't, they're crazy, man. There are spiders that pretend to be ants, go into the belly of the fucking beast and eat ants. What other bug can get into an anthill? That's crazy. Yeah, that's right. There's spiders that have ranged attacks. There are spiders that will, like, there's types of tarantulas in the desert that will have hard, like, bristle-like hairs on their butts, and they will use their back legs to fling them at enemies to, like, bother their eyes, basically. They fling sharp spears of hair at you. That's fucking crazy, man. Yeah. Yes, there are spiders with ranged attacks. They're just really cool. They're just really cool. There's a really crazy type of spider I saw recently that is like interesting because it's kind of got an assassin bug body plan where its like head is really tall and its fangs are like super duper long to pin its prey away from itself so it can like spear them and push them down and away from itself. It's great. There's spiders that are big enough to eat birds. That's true. Why are we in Hellfire? Because you argued with me. You said my hawk moth voice was weird. Would you kill or gently shoo away a spider while cleaning? Lenny, it depends on the type of spider, unfortunately. If it's a wolf spider, I'm going to either try to get it outside or I'm going to kill it if it won't like get in a position where I can put it in a cup, unfortunately. Because I can never tell if it's a brown recluse and you just can't play with that. There's a limit to kindness. there's a limit to I share my space with bugs. And if it's a brown recluse, it's gotta go. Yeah, the assassin spider, Froggy Bones. Yes. You guys ever seen a camel spider? Whoa, those give me the... They've developed so many forms of hunting and living that you basically have every class in D&D that are for spiders. Yes, spiders could fill out every class in D&D. Guaranteed. Yeah, so assassin spiders will hunt other spiders, and they have like really, like, look up an assassin spider if you're not if you don't have arachnophobia. But basically, they have these really, really, really long fangs and a really long head, and it's so that they can pin other spiders down where they can't bite back while they kill them. It's crazy body. It's a crazy body plan. It looks so alien. Why are we in hell? Because you were bad. If you behave yourself, I'll move you up to Kevin. All right? Next, mantises. I don't know. Mantises are kind of cool. I think mantises are sitting a weird middle ground where, like, I think a lot of people actually think mantises are pretty sick. And to be fair, they are really cool. They've got scythe hands, man. They've got scythe hands. That's kind of fucking cool. And also, they're like always held up in that prayer position, and they can jump really far. And when they spread their wings, they've got like this really intimidating look. Also, they have such cool eyes. Their compound eyes are so incredibly sick. I don't know, man. I feel like mantises are probably Of course, orchid mantises. There you go. Everybody loves an orchid mantis. They're very sick. I would like to be in Kevin, please. Well, consider me bribed. Kevin, it is. Top of the Kevin to you. Yeah, okay, seriously. Yeah, of course, man. It's the best. Whatever. No, bias aside, I think, okay, no, that's true. Mantises are really fucking cool, dude. Thank you for the suit, by the way, Santa. Mantises are, they are really cool. Do you have any gadgets that pick up bugs safely? Nah, I usually just use a cup, and then I slide a piece of paper under it. Damn. I don't know. They were in a way, mantises remind me of spiders in how unique their plan is and their body is and the way they hunt is. They're fucked up, right? Like they're definitely fucked up. I don't know if you've ever seen a mantis eat, but it is fucked up the way they grapple something and then just start chewing it alive. They don't even have the decency to like poison it or like kill it quickly. They just catch it with those fucking claws, and then they're like, now I'm gonna start eating you. And it's whatever part's closest, man. It's not always a quick one. It's not like I'm going to bite your head off. Sometimes it's, I'm going to start from the butt. I'm going to chew your legs off like a fucking piece of spaghetti. Nom, 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 nom. Whatever's closest to the mouth, that's what's going in, dude. So it might not be a quick death, but it's honestly pretty metal. They're kind of like dragonflies in my mind, where they sit in this like high tier super predator mode, where if one gets a hold of you, that's got to be like nightmare fuel, right? Like that's like an ogre getting your ass. Like it's over. I think, honestly, I'd share a little tree with a mantis. I'd throw a bug in a mantis. Is mantis adoptable? Ally? Do they take care of pests? I don't think mantises eat plants. They might take care of pests. Also, let's be real. Mantises are gay as fuck. That's an ally. Did you know praying mantis will catch and kill hummingbirds? I did know that. Yes, I did know that. Which is crazy, by the way. They eat rotten or dead leaves. They are purely carnivorous. Oh, honestly, I'm gonna say ally. You know what else, actually? Now that I think about it, I think Ruze... No, I'm just kidding. You belong in Kevin. Enjoy Kevin. I woke up to a random live of you enthusiastically ranking spiders. Hey, listen, I'm sorry if you fell asleep to some cozy energy. Here we are in the bug tier list, though, and it's objective. Sorry. During Pride Month, too? Yeah. And what are you going to do about it? Enjoy your Kevin tier, dweeb. All right, what's up next? Oh, loading it up into Kevin. We got the big stink beetle, the stink bugs. They look like a shield. They're cool. I like them. I'd give them a little treat. That's it. They look like a shield. They look like Link's shield to me. I love a kite shield. It's my favorite type of shield. They look like a kite shield. That's it. I like stink bugs. I like them. I like the way they look. I like their funky little body plan. I like that they look like they're made of like some sort of like durable concrete, even though it's just carapace. I like their shape. Stink bugs are cool, man. They've got that beetle Riz. Yeah. They're not quite up there in Adopt, right? Because they do smell kind of bad. They smell kind of bad. But they look cool. True, true. They're invading my home and they are the worst flyer I've ever seen. Listen, I'll be honest with you. That only adds to their charm. I love watching a stupid little fucking beetle just bumbling around in the air, bumping into shit. You ever seen a June bug try to fly? That shit's funny as fuck. That's comedy gold, baby. Like, imagine a creature evolves from like the beginning of time down to our modern era, and it evolves to be a stupid fucking caricature going, like the fucking like trumpet music's playing when those motherfuckers fly around, and it's all for our own amusement. There's no other reason why it happens. It's just because it's funny. It's because it's funny. That's a beautiful bug right there that sacrificed its ability for aerodynamics to go, wouldn't humans find this amusing if I just slammed into every single fucking object on my way to wherever I'm going? I think it's great. I think it's great that beetles are so tanky, so durable, and so dumb that they're willing to just slap into shit, and they're still just like, that's cool. They are the Midwest Ope. Junebug Circus. They all live in my place and pay no rent. Well, have you asked them to pay rent? They're tough as shit. I'll give you that. I love watching beetles fly, man. I think it makes them look really cute. All right, next one. That's enough of that. All right, this one. A fucking piece de la resistance of art, if I do say so myself. This one's really good. So we all know what this is, right? Put us in the garden. I wish to be with my roaches. I'll think about it, Sarah. I'll consider it. I'll consider it. That's right, baby. We got stick bugs. Here's the thing. Do I put stick bugs in the garden because they're sticks and that's where sticks go? Or do I leave them in Kevin so they can be with their fellow leaf bugs? Kevin, because they're not real? That's a good point. They're not real. That's a good point. Machina X Flayon? Oh my god! It's Machina X Flayon and the Machirons? Hello, Machirons! Hi! Thank you for coming in. Were you guys having fun playing Ebony Ravenway Darkness Dementia? I hope you guys did have a good time. Currently, I'm doing the world's most objective bug tier list. I drew all these bugs for you, and I'm telling you about which bugs are good and which bugs are bad. We are right now ranking stick bugs. I personally think they belong in the Kevin tier alongside leaf bugs. They're definitely above bed bugs, though. I'll say that. I think mostly the reason I would put leaf bugs and stick bugs here is because neither of them are real. Both of them are fantasy creatures. It'd be cool if they were real. I'd like it, but since they aren't real, I think they belong in Kevin. So, Laurie, I'm glad you like them. Ruzeters are Kevin. They got moved up. I might bump them up to live in the garden, but only so that jumping spider lands on them and eats them. Actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll do that. I think you belong in Kevin. Yeah, well, actually, you know what? Elsia, you're right. You're so right. And I want to take a moment out to thank this brave Ruzader for bringing to my attention my error, my mistake. I am nothing if not so magnanimous and so self-aware that I know when I've made a mistake and I can admit it. I can be the bigger person. I promise to you, Ruzators, I will always, always step down from my golden throne on high to meet you at your level and do self-review to be a better person. And I made a mistake. Ruzators belong in Perish and Hellfire. So, next bug, Loading it up in the Kevin. We got scorpions, baby. Scorpions. LTR really said, what have I done? 43 left under your command. Okay, so we got scorpions, baby. Where did scorpions go? They're pretty banger. Their design's really cool. They do have that fucked up. I don't know how to describe this in any way that makes sense, but scorpions move in such a way where it feels like, God, Zuna. All right, you can be Kevin. You can be at the top of Kevin. You can be at the top of Kevin. You can't bribe your way any further. Here's the thing. Scorpions feel like they're creeping up on you. How do I say this in a way that makes sense? They feel stop motion. It feels like scorpions are struggling against themselves to be able to move around. Does that make sense? I don't mean that as in they are scary. I mean, it literally feels like at any given moment, a scorpion is only ever trying to sneak up on something. Like its whole activity is targeting whatever is in the room and being like, I'm going to get up on that guy. And they move like they're trying not to like wake up their dad when they're sneaking in to get a fucking peanut butter and jelly at 4 a.m. I don't know why scorpions do that. It feels like every step is like, I hope the microwave doesn't go off, and they close it really quietly after putting a delicious fucking like grasshopper in there. And they're like, okay, cool. I closed it quietly. It's fine. And they go to get a delicious glass of fucking like dewdrop from the morning blades of grass or whatever. And then, and they're like, fuck! And they run back and they open the microwave as fast as they can to get their little fucking grasshopper out, but it's too late. Scorpion Dad's already awake, and he pulls up his tail. He's like, how many times I gotta tell you? You don't come into the kitchen and you get the grasshopper this early. Sorry, I went too deep in the sauce there. But anyway, scorpions, I feel like they're always creeping around. I went too deep into the metaphor there. Sorry, I lost myself in the hillbilly scorpion somewhere. Yeah, they're always tiptoeing. What's that about? They're always like, tiptoe through the window. They hold hands when they're courting? That's really cute, actually. That's really cute, actually. All right. I don't think I would adopt a scorpion. They can live in the garden with spiders. I'll put scorpions here. Oh, they do glow in the dark. Okay, well, hold on. Wait a minute. Everybody stop. Maybe I give him a little treat. That is kind of cool that they do the whole like glowing under black lights thing. I forgot they did that. They carry their babies on their backs. Uh-oh. I have to stay off my lawn. That one always gives me the jeebies. I don't like it when spiders carry their babies on their backs either. That always annoys me. Oh, they do have venom, and I do love a good poison bill. Uh-oh. Wait, I might have to move spiders up to ally, too, just because I always... You know what? Actually, that's like the quintessential ally to me. I always tame a spider pet if I can in a video game. What am I talking about? What the fuck's wrong with me? Like, yeah, they're scary, but that's why they're my ally. Keep your enemies close. Spiders going up here. Scorpions are going to share a little treat. Yep. That's the new list. I've decided. Remember who... Ruze. Remember who you are. Honestly, I'm gonna be real. If I were to like assign bugs to every member of Armis or Tempest or Stars-EN or whatever, I do think I would want to give myself Spider, but I don't think it works. Like, I like traps and things like that, and like setting like fucking like little like devious ploys for my enemies and shit. But I think Spider would probably go to Octavio because of the 8 legs and because of the like the webbings and the traps and the always watching you thing. I think I'd be a Scorpion. I like poison. I like being durable. I think the claws almost function like two big axes, even though it's actually for grappling and not chopping, but that's fine. I like the ambush predator like playstyle. I love waiting, like lying in wait and then leaping out to attack my opponents. I definitely think I would go for Scorpion. I tiptoe through the window. And he's got an axe tail. True. And I would definitely sting that frog. So what would that make everybody else, now that I think about it? What would Goldie be? Goldie would be... I was going to say Dragonfly, but I feel like that's too aggressive. I think Goldie would be... Housefly. No, I'm kidding. I could see a beetle. A beetle would be pretty good, but Goldie's like... The thing is, I don't think Goldie's that bad at flying, necessarily. I could see a beetle. He'd be pretty cool. He'd be a fly with Freddy the Fly. Maybe. Goldie does love his tank builds. I see, but much like I would be like, I want to be a spider. I think Goldie would want to be a beetle because he likes his tank builds. But I think realistically, I think Goldie would be like... He might be like a mayfly or like a bee. I can see Goldie being a bee, actually. He doesn't want to sting you, but he will if he needs to. Or a bombardier beetle would be funny. Goldie as a bombardier beetle would actually be really funny. Kind of tanky, has a ranged attack, isn't gonna like necessarily fuck with you unless you fuck with it. Goldie? No, Gold B. That's kind of funny. Gold B. Gold B. What would Gerard be? Something with a cicada? No. Locust? Maybe. Grasshopper? Unkillable roach? Cricket's not bad. Cricket's not bad. Cricket's possible. Not a dung beetle. Something loud, probably. Either, I'd say a cicada or a cricket, probably, yeah. Clumsy ass Hercules beetle. Fair. Oh, trilobite, because extinct insects. That's kind of funny, but probably not. But that is funny, actually. That's funny. I like that. All right, we got our next bug up on the docket. Let's load it into the Kevin. What do we have here, everybody? An olive? I don't think, I think, Sturmling, you might find this olive a little too juicy. I don't think you'd want to bite into this one. That is a tick gorged upon blood. They're not great. Don't like them. Not my fan. Not my friends. Not my friends. I'm not a big fan of them. Let's give it up for Lyme disease! Any Lyme disease fans? God. Lyme disease is fucking awful, by the way. I think that's a fat kiwi. Possibly. They do not have the leech aura. Yeah, they don't have the leech aura. They're kind of little bastards. They're just assholes. I think I have a personal vendetta against ticks. It's different from my vendetta against mosquitoes. My vendetta against mosquitoes is built almost entirely off of like my rage against them in Grounded, because I built in their territory and they spent so long having an eternal war with me that I became like the fucking like I became the mosquito blade. I spent my days in the swamp crafting weapons from their like fucking stupid proboscis to stab them to death. I was like a vampire in my ancient mushroom castle fighting them with a mosquito rapier. slaying the bloodsuckers. But ticks, I have a personal vendetta against because I grew up with Great Danes. And, like, every couple fucking days, I had to be checking those fuckers for, like, big-ass, overgorged ticks. Not to mention checking myself. Like, every day. Every day I had to take a shower, I had to check all over my body and check my armpits and check my in between my fucking fingers and stuff and make sure that there was nowhere in any, like, crevasse that a tick was. Super fucking annoying, dude. And then getting them off without leaving the stinger in was really annoying. Or their proboscis in was annoying. And then you had to like fucking, like, it was scary because my dad would like try to like get them off with a lighter. So he'd like sit there and like lighter them while they were still attached to me. I'm like, that's scary, fire. Anyway. Yes, I've heard of that, Zavario. Yeah, I would be terrified of that.
Hate. Let me tell you how much I've come to hate ticks since I began to live. I have 500 billion miles of data stored within my dumpy. If you were to write the word hate onto every microfilament of that data, it would not begin to account for a single 0.000000001 percentile of the hate I feel for ticks.
Proboscis? Probiscus. Probiscuit? Oh, sheesh! Hold on. Move these up to ally! I'm kidding. Eclipse, thanks for 30 months. Sorry, that was the dumbest joke I ever maybe made. Crimzon Rulez, time to go, bud. Time to call it. Content creation is not for you, champ. Felix, thank you for 30 months of being an asshole. Here in Alaska, it's the opposite. No ticks, but literal, and I am not even joking, clouds of mosquitoes that swarm you the minute you outside. I passionately hate mosquitoes. They can survive in Alaska? I figured a cold place like that would have less. That's crazy. Bro, give a flash warning next time. All of my clothes are still on, Widowy, so... They can literally kill caribou. I think I've seen that, actually. Yeah, the mosquitoes that will, like, drain so much blood from, like, caribou and shit that they kill them because they, like, basically suffer, like, whatever it's called. Anyway, next... We all agree ticks are the worst. We hate ticks. Light them on fire. They literally are supposed to be lit on fire. That's the whole thing. All right, we've got our next bug. Termites. Get off my lawn. Cute. Hellfire. What the fuck? Evil. Stay off my lawn. They eat houses. They're like landlords. The regular or the flying variety? Regular variety of termites. Regular variety of termites. Okay. Don't like them off the lawn. They're destructive. Not my garden, please. Outside termites cool. Inside termites are horrible. Hellfire, hellfire. Kevin, perish. Stay off my lawn. That's a lot. You guys have a lot of opinions on termites. I like termites. And it's my tier list, so fuck you. I do what I want. I think termites are cool. I think termites to me are like the Wario or the Waluigi of ants. I like them because they're fucked up and evil, but I like that they're social insects. But they're just out there doing shit. They're chomping on wood. They're building their own cool super nests and shit. They got their termite mounds, which is really fucking cool. I love their mega structures they build. They're just a really cool, industrious bug, and I don't blame them for like eating houses or whatever. That's not their fault. They're just born that way or whatever. I just think they're really cool. They're just evil ants. They're so I think termites to me are like, if you choose ants, which I do choose ants, you probably picked a human warrior or a human paladin when you played World of Warcraft because you're boring and vanilla and lame, and you like your mundane guy. If you picked termites, you probably picked orc warrior because you like big unga bunga build and hit thing with axe. And that's cool too. I think that's really cool. I feel like termites are just what you pick if you want to play an ant, but you want to look like a bad guy. If you want to attach spikes to your shoulder pads, but you want to play an ant. That's termites, dude. I like termites. They're fine. What is this paladin slander? Hey, listen, paladins are fine. It's okay. Paladin was my main when I used to play in Burning Crusade, all right? I was a Blood Elf Paladin. I love Paladins. They're sick. But anyway, I like termites. I think that they are definitely pests in that they can be annoying, but I just think they're charming, and I think they're interesting, and I like watching them build, and I like watching them chew on things. Paladin main, nice. Yeah, I wanted to main rogue, but I never ended up getting my rogue maxed out, actually. Termite's got that wide pit bull head. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. It's also why they make such good music. No, I'm just kidding. Stupid. Wait, no, not Pitbull. I was thinking of a different artist. Does Pitbull make good music? I can't remember if his music's good or if it's bad. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Are you proud of yourself for that one? I'm gonna be real with you, Richard Like Spies. Can I? Come here. Get a little closer. Come here. Come here. Shh. No, it's fine. It's fine. No, don't shuffle away. Come here. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Ruzeters, can you stay over there? Richard, here's the thing. That's my trade secret is I'm not proud of anything I say. I'm not proud of anything I say. I make the worst jokes that come to my brain the moment it comes in. Like, it enters, the neurons fire. I say it out loud, unable to stop myself, like watching a train wreck, right? I'm fascinated by it, but I don't want to see it happen. And then I just make do the best I can. Like you, I go home, I do whatever escapism I can to try and wash the memory from my brain of all of the screaming, horrible, like, comedic beats dying in the train when it falls off the rails, because I can't do comedy. And then I try to forget, but I can't forget. Sometimes when I'm alone at night in the dark, I'll stare at my ceiling and I'll start to think about the bad jokes I made, and I'll have violent physical convulsions because they're still there. I can try to drown them out. I can play video games. I can read books. I can remind myself that sometimes there's a good one, you know, out of every 20 that I fire out shotgun spray style, but the reality is they still live within me. And I'll never get past that. But I can live with it. Hey, listen, you miss every... As Blitzcrank mains say, you miss every hook you don't shoot, right? So I'm going to fire off every joke that comes into my dumbass brain. 90% of them are going to be slop, and you're going to have to like it. So put your fucking muzzle in the trough, Ruzader, and start gobbling slop. You can live in the garden. In fact, you can have a little treat. Your treat is my bad joke. I'm glad you trusted me with this information. Thank you, Richard. Keep it secret. Keep it safe. All right, next bug. Wasps. Wasps are bees with PvP mode on. They're cool. They're cool as fuck. I like them. I think they're sick. I like wasps. I like wasps a lot. I think wasps fuck. I like wasps a lot. Wasps are bees with a leather jacket. Wasps are bees, but they make sure that you know that they rode a motorcycle to school. I want wasps off my lawn, but I understand why you'd adopt them. You get it. You get it. Plus, they build cool hives. They are mean, but they're so cool, man. They're so cool. Like, all right, listen. Bear with me for a second. Bear with me. No. If ever you were to have a bug on an iconography of a medieval house, you know what I mean? Like how they take on like a totem animal or whatever and they put it on their banners, like lions or like bears or like we're the house of the stag. Weirdly, if it was ever a bug, it would typically be a wasp. Wasps are so influential in their like the way they handle things that there's the yellow jacket iconography. It is rare to see a bug enter into the mimetic cultural like mindset enough to have a color scheme associated with it and like actually influence things all the way up to like sports teams, right? That's how cool wasps are. Wasp ruined my husband's day last week, stung like 6 times. I'm gonna give you the answer straight from the wasp's mouth, and you're not gonna like this, but I'm gonna tell you what the wasp would have said to your husband. In fact, I'm gonna translate for you. So the wasps, while they were stinging your husband, they were like, bzz, bzz, right? And they were stabbing him. What they were saying was, get good, get good, get good, get good, skill issue, skill issue, skill issue, skill issue, get good, get good. Wasps are the people who download Souls games specifically to PvP. I love that for them. Osco says, I want to take a screenshot, so could you put a Ruzator next to a spider? Yeah. Wait, no. I see you, Osco. I see. You know what? It's fine. Here you go. Have fun. Thank you for 7 months. The wasps on my porch and I have an arrangement. They're security, and they eat the mosquitoes that swarm outside. See? There you go. Wasps really are the let me solo her. Wasps are toxic gamers. I like them because they are toxic gamers and they're not afraid to show it. They just don't give a fuck, right? Like bees are like sitting up, like this is literally the like Chad wasp versus the virgin bee. Bees are all like, oh, well, if I sting you, I'll pull my intestines out of my asshole and I'll die. Oh, nature sure fucked me over. I don't want to sting you. I just want to pollinate. Everybody's like, aw, you're sweet. And wasps are like, I pollinate, but I'll fuck you up. Stay off my lawn. Everybody's like, wasps? Wasps, what the fuck? What do you mean you'll fuck me up? Wasps like, yeah, dude, stay off my fucking lawn. Like, I didn't ask to be born this way. I got one weapon, and I'm gonna fucking use it. Stay away. Let's go. You go, wasps. Chud's son versus Chad's psychopath killer son. Exactly. League of Legends was not based off of a behavioral study on wasps, but I am convinced that at least 98.7% of the League of Legends player base is just wasps playing in their hives. There's a reason they build those nests so frequently. They're trying to set up like a LAN connection so that they can like tap into your Wi-Fi and use it to play League of Legends. I am convinced there are very few real humans left playing League of Legends. 98.7% of their player base is wasps. You should come outside. 1 million wasps. Exactly. I love wasps. I think they're cool. They're cool. Wasps are cool with me. They're just bees with leather jackets. That's it. That's the descriptor. That's the shorthand. Sorry, I got long-winded on that. Wasps are bees, but they wear leather jackets and ride a motorcycle to school. Also, they will beat you up for your lunch money, but like in kind of a cool way. I like bees too, but I like wasps. Next up, we have professional fucking StarCraft 2 player, Titan Dweevil. No, I'm kidding. Weevils are cool. I like Weevils. They're funny. They're goofy. I don't know, dude. Like, they're probably getting their ass beat by wasps for their lunch money, but they're charming and how stupid they are. Thank you for the delicious chip. Thank you. Hi. I think Weevils... I'm gonna be real, dude. I think by virtue of just being silly, stupid, fucked up little dudes, this is another like epitome of my look at my dumb chud son. I think they're pretty fucking adoptable. Honestly, I'd put Weevils above butterflies in my list of like, that's an adoptable fucking bug. Look at my dumbass chud son. They're just little dudes. They're just out there just being. I can only think of Weevil from Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh, Weevil! That guy? He's not even doing anything. He's just snuffling around. I do like adopting all the bugs. It's true. Huh. See, but Weevils are like... That's the thing, right? Like, obviously, wasps are Kaiba weevils are Weevil Underwood, and then you got bees coming in, being the fucking, like, I don't know, what, Tristan or whatever. And then you got the Chad motherfucking ant coming in. He's like, that's where you're wrong, Dweevil. My grandfather's nest has no weak ants. You've activated my trap card. Tristan's a stick bug. Oh, okay. I can accept that. Who is near me? Which little kitty is it? It's too dark to tell. I think they left. It might have been Arcturus. Anyway. Last bug. Anyway, weevils are cute. I like them. I didn't even know weevils really existed for a long time, but I've grown to love those little fucking idiots. They're just so charming. I also really like my weevil in Grounded, even though he didn't do anything. I just liked him being around. He was just cute. Last bug, what do you think it's going to be? What do you guys think it's going to be? Show of hands? Take a guess. Last bug, take a guess. Shot in the dark, what's it going to be? We've reached the end of the tier list, baby. Cunningly. When you guys say cunningly, I want you to know the only thing I think of is like 40k orcs. Or Warhammer Fantasy orcs. I'm like,
it's rotten, Orky. Oh, the streamers do it cunningly. Oh, come here. Mark, you gotta look at this. Oh, this one's rotten cunning. You can tell by the way she be pressing the keys.
Snail, locust, snail. Yeah, nice try. You're all wrong. I might not be a sopping wet cat, but would you still love me if I was a worm? Chili Pepper Flake, you got it right. You got it right. Mary Carey, you got it right as well. We are worms! Worthless worms!
Coming, your most lugubriousness.
Yeah, so worms. I'm gonna be real. Worm deserves its own tier, which is not a bug. I'll die on that hill. Worm's not a bug. But since everybody insists that worms are bugs, worms, leeches, that kind of shit, not a bug. I don't think that's a bug. That's not a bug to me. But we're here now, so we're gonna figure out what we're doing with worms. Let's figure out where we're putting these little bastards. Chili Pepper Flakes, thank you for 23 months of being a Ruzader, and welcome back. Ally, they are really important for soil health. Are they, though? Like, don't be fucking stupid. Dirt doesn't have health. It's not alive. I gotta teach you guys everything. You guys are so lucky you have me. They leave me alone, so they are an ally. They party on the sidewalk when it rains. Yeah, I feel bad for worms. I'm always trying to move worms off the sidewalk. Don't tell anybody this, by the way. I got a reputation to keep, but I'm the type of motherfucker that will stop and slide worms off the sidewalk because I know that they're just going to roast when the sun comes up. And I'm usually walking around at like, you know, anywhere from like 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. I'm usually doing my nightly, like, not strictly non-vampiric, because I'm a regular human. I'm doing my strictly non-vampiric strolls around, usually in the wee hours of the morn. So I tend to slide worms off the sidewalk so they don't cook when the sun comes up. Man, what do I think about worms? I guess, man, they ain't really doing nothing wrong, right? Like, there's nothing wrong. Worms have never really done anything wrong. I just can't think of any single offensive things about worms. I guess sometimes they show up in, like, media when something's supposed to be ucky, yucky, or scary. Like sometimes they're burrowing in the soil near a corpse, or like, oh my god, it wasn't spaghetti, it was worms. Oh, the illusion is broken. Like that's the worst thing worms ever did, was like sometimes they wriggle around in the dirt, but like they're just pathetic. They're not doing anything bad. They're just worms, man. They're just chilling. I feel like worms are just fucking vibing. They're never doing anything wrong. Worms are your unemployed friend on a Tuesday. Like worms are your friend that is like, you want to like worms are the friend who like, you don't care that they smoke, but you don't like, you're like, I don't partake. And they're like, that's cool, man. But they're always eating something. Worms are just vibing at all times. Like they're non-offensive. They're just existing. They're just kind of drifting through life. They're super employed, but go on. No, the fuck they're not. That motherfucker eats and shits, and that's it. They're calling you at 3 a.m. on a work night to see what you're doing. Exactly. I don't even know if worms would call you is the thing. Worms are so fucking in their own lane. I don't even think they would call you to check on you. Worms are literally just... Oh, wait. Sorry, I had to fix something. Worms are literally just existing. I don't think they remember you exist until you call them. Like, they're down to clown at any hour, any day, because they're the unemployed friend, but they ain't looking to hang out. They're just looking to vibe. They're doing their own thing. If you ask them to, they will, but they're not looking for you. They're just existing. I think worms are allies. I'll say it. I think worms are allies. I don't think they've ever done anything wrong in their lives, dude. They just fucking, they're just there. It's whatever. They're chill. The worst crime a worm has ever done in my mind is just be kind of irrelevant. Like they're unimportant. I just don't think about worms. They're just there. But that's not enough to take them out of the high tier, man. They're chill. Worms are chilling. Put us back. No! No! Us getting swapped with a worm is crazy. Yeah, worms are chill, man. Can we live in the garden at least? I guess somebody did bribe their way up to garden, but then Zuna came back and bribed you back to Kevin. No, wait, someone taught shit and got moved down to Hellfire. I'll tell you what, you can hang out with the leeches. It's be nice to bugs day. You have to treat us nicely. Well, you guys are like little imp devil bug lizards, so I really don't have to treat you nicely because you're clearly not all bug. Sorry. Yeah, you also are sort of cats too, huh? You guys are weird little like chimeras, huh? We are worms! Worthless worms! We're like bipedal scorpions. Oh, you are kind of like bipedal scorpions, huh? Even though you're really mean, I would give you dirt if you were a worm. But Kevin! Jeez. Okay, Zuna, fine, whatever. You can be king of Kevin. You know what, Zuna? Here's your crown. This is for you. Boop. You're king of Kevin tier. Zuna, thank you for the soup. Akia, thank you for the soup. I'll be real with you guys. Here's the reality. Akia, I'm glad you said that. While we're on worms, I'll tell you this. I would not still love you if you were a worm. I'm sorry. I would not love you the same way if you were a worm. But I would care for you the same way I would care for a worm. Which is to say, I would be kind to you and gentle to you in the same way I would a worm. But I don't think you're you anymore when you're a worm. I'm sorry. Falcona, thank you for the soup. You're right. You didn't do anything wrong. You can be the viceroy of Kevin. Fire Turtle says, we're just little guys. Please put us in the share a little treat. What? Now you want to move up? What the fuck? After Zuna worked so hard to be king of Kevin, you want to move up? You don't love us now, bruh. No, but I'd move you off the sidewalk and never look back. So thanks for the soup. Fine. I guess it's be nice to bugs day. You guys can live in the garden with the roaches and the I guess you guys have given me a lot of little treats today. I could move you up one more tier, maybe. Maybe. All right, how about this? You are Kevin in your souls. I'm losing the tumbler poll, guys. What are we doing? Never mind. Straight to hellfire with you. Bottom tier, bottom of hellfire, beneath ticks, beneath mosquitoes. Deputy, thank you for 26 months. Perish in hellfire indeed. Thank you. Lock in, Tumblerizators. Sorry to interrupt, but there's only 12 hours left in the most adoptable man poll, and Martin Blackwood is in a narrow lead. I say this as a diehard fan of TMA. Please vote for a Ruze. All right, guys, here's what's going to happen. There's a bunch of us here. It's time. I need all of you to make Tumblr accounts right now. I know it's a hassle. Whatever. Just hit sign up with Google. Make your Tumblr accounts. Go vote. I need to win this. Not because I'm a sopping, wet, pathetic cat of a man. Because I'm not. I'm very cool and awesome and super awesome. I'm a grown man. I'm self-sufficient and powerful and scary and intimidating, but I also don't lose. So go make your Tumblr accounts and vote. Go now. I did my part. Exactly. Chronic, thank you for 2 months, by the way. Thank you, Chronic Insomnia. If anyone wants to be nice and politely keep their bugs in the garden, soak a cotton bud in peppermint oil and or sandalwood oil and place it on the windowsill. Try not to ravage the biome with chemicals. Yes, peppermint oil and sandalwood oil are really great for keeping bugs out of your windows and keeping them outside. I am not as adoptable as a sad, kicked dog. How dare you? Listen, that's a lot of treats. All right, I'll tell you what, guys. I'll tell you what. You could be in the share a little treat, but that's as far as you're going. That's as far as you're going. You can go in the I would share a little treat with you tier. That's as far as you go. I'm reorganizing. Hold on. Yeah, okay. Vani, thank you for 8 months! Mantis being in the top tier. I love it here. Hell yeah. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ants are still up there, dude. I love ants. Ants are still probably my favorite bug. I just really like ants, man. I really like little ants. Oh, I'm not mean to you. I moved you up to share a treat. How dare you? That's it, Rosie. I'm putting you back in Parish and Hellfire. I'm putting you right back into the. That's it, brother. I'm gonna Batista bomb you off the top of the fucking church steeple in the Hunchback of Notre Dame. That's it. Like fire, hellfire. We're going down. You wouldn't? Yes, I would. I'd minister Frollo your ass right off that fucking gargoyle. I'd cleave that gargoyle in twain and send you spiraling down into the flames of disaster. And Silver the Hedgehog couldn't stop it, even with his mind powers. He'd be like, oh, the flames of disaster? Oh, I claimed another victim. No, Father Vegeta. Oh, wait, I mean, different guy. I swear. Anyway. That's all from me, gamers. This has been the bug tier list. I will download this and post it on social media on both Twitter and Blue Sky a little bit later. Thank you for joining me for the objectively correct tier list that is legally binding, contractually binding. This is true for now on, forever, going forward into perpetuity. This contract holds until I change it because I am the authority on bugs and where they sit in the tier list. This is the new rule about all bugs. That is all. That is all there is about it that you need to know. So, thank you. I hope you've become a little bit fonder of bugs today. I hope this has made you feel a little bit better about them because I know I do. I love me a good bug. You just joined. Don't worry. You've got such a delicious VOD to consume. It's so tasty. This is one of my best VODs ever, probably. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. Maybe it's shit. I rambled a lot. I'm very tired today, dude. I've just been talking. A lot. Anyway, I hope you guys like bugs a little bit more. And if you don't like bugs, just remember that it's true courage is not about facing your fears and growing to love the things you fear. It is about having the grace and the strength to have dignity and kindness even towards things you do fear. So be nice to bugs today, even if you don't love them yet, or do you think you'll never love them? That's okay. Be nice to bugs. Tiffy, thank you for the soup. Leah, thank you for the soup. I'll tell you what, you guys have given me so much soup today and so much kindness. I'll be nice to you bugs and to these bugs. I will put each of these individually in the Google Drive where my references are so that you too can enjoy them as like little profile pictures or icons or whatever. Maybe I'll even try to make one of them an emote. I'm particularly proud of my scorpion on this one, actually, which is crazy because I drew that one super fast and did not think about it much at all. I also like my ant, actually, and my roly-poly. A couple of these are pretty fucking banger. Some of them are shit. A couple of them are pretty banger, though. Anyway, thank you so much for popping by, gamers. That's it for me. I'm going to get the hell out of here. I'm going to find somebody to raid into. Do not forget, EU Zaders, tomorrow I will be playing my favorite video game ever. For the first time on stream, I'm going to be playing The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. It will be the third time in my life I've played it, maybe the fourth time. I don't replay games very often. I did not play Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time again after I beat it the first time for like 10 years. Anyway, I'm excited to tackle it again. It's been a bit, and for those of you who don't know it or have not seen it, I hope that you enjoy it. It's going to make really good, easy, condensed content, and it's a chance to experience it before the remake comes out. So I want to taste that world one more time. Anyway, see you at 1 p.m. EST EU Zaders, and then the day after that, I'm going to be doing an Armis collab at 7 p.m. Well, technically at 8 p.m., but I'm going to be starting at 7 p.m. because I've got my own thing I got to do. I've got a date with a hot dog and a pickle. And then lastly, on Saturday this week, I'm going to be playing Windrose with Shinry at 9 p.m. EST. A little bit later so I can meet him at his level. Okay. That's all. Bye-bye. Thank you for hanging out, Ruzeers. Thank you for all the soup. Thank you for all the chips. Bye. Bye. And a big shout out to the bruisers, the Ruzeers, the axholes, and the jackaxes that support me. And a special thank you to the exceptional dorks and the glucose guardians who helped to keep the lights on. I literally would not be able to do this without you guys. Seriously, thank you for all the support, especially lately. You guys have been really generous to me. It's Be Nice to Bugs Day, so I can say a couple kind words. And the kind words I have to say are thus. The support you give me, either monetarily or just by hanging out and being a part of the community, is more than I could possibly like explain in words, and it gives me the drive to keep pushing it and do goofy little things like this and fucking stay up for like 12 hours drawing stupid bugs to surprise and delight you guys. And I hope that you feel surprised and delighted. I hope that you've been enjoying some of the more creative stuff I've been getting up to lately. I've been feeling that passion for content creation back in my veins, burning me like gasoline, and I hope to keep on burning, baby. Anyway, VOD question of the day is, what's your favorite bug and why? Special points if it's a bug you've grown to love in your time with the Ruze that you didn't think you liked originally. Okay, bye-bye! I'm going to take you over to... Who's live? I traded Haka literally yesterday. Shit. Fuck. Hold on. Yeah, you know what? Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll raid you into Octavio's waiting room because I think he is about to be live, I want to say. Yeah, 11. Yeah, 11. That's actually right now. Okay, so Octavio and Gerard are about to be streaming some Marvel Rivals Season 9. Apparently, they're trying out Jollibee, which I believe is Julie B, who is the fireworks girl from X-Men, I want to say. I'm going to take you over there. Have fun, gamers. It's probably going to be pretty high energy. It should be a lot of fun. I hope you guys have a good time. Bye-bye. Don't forget to vote for me in the Tumblr poll if you want me to win, and if you don't want me to win, you hate me and you wish I was dead. If I lose on Be Nice to Bugs Day, I'm going to cry hard enough to drown the planet, and we will have another Atlantis, and then we're gonna have to get some dorky white guy named Milo fucking Reeds or whatever his name was to go and, I don't know, study an ancient fallen civilization. Bye.